all states.
Another round of talks between Chinese and American leaders.
Last night on Inauguration Eve, China's Vice President Han Zheng held meetings with incoming Vice President-elect J.D. Vance, as well as separate talks with Elon Musk and other business representatives. The Trump team says the talks come amid ongoing tensions over Pacific regional security, national security, trade, and technology. On Friday, incoming President Trump spoke with China's President Xi, posting on social media that he had what he termed a very good call for both China and the USA. George Williams reporting.
A Colombian official says that more than 80 people have been killed in the country's northeast region following failed attempts by the government to hold peace talks with the National Liberation Army. Officials say the attacks took place in a region where at least 3 people who were part of those peace talks were kidnapped. The attack comes after Colombia suspended talks with the National Liberation Army on Friday, the second time it has done so in under a year. News and analysis, townhall.com. An icy Arctic blast has 70 million Americans under winter weather warnings.
While the mid-Atlantic through the Northeast and the plains are getting hit with an Arctic blast, that cold air is giving the Gulf Coast a rare taste of winter as well, says National Weather Service meteorologist Mark Chenard.
From the Rocky Mountains all the way across to the East Coast, even as far south as the Gulf Coast.
Wind chills of negative 50 degrees forecast for the Dakotas, while the East Coast could see 0-degree wind chills. I'm Julie Walker.
The National Weather Service is warning of a particularly dangerous situation in fire-ravaged areas of Southern California. A resurgence of gusty winds expected to raise the risk of wildfires. The warning comes 2 weeks after devastating fires killed at least 27 people. The Santa Ana wind gusts this time around could hit 70 miles per hour. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The demolition, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Happy Inauguration Day.
Indeed.
And happy Monday.
Happy frozen over Monday morning.
Yes, it is a bit chilly. It was chilly yesterday. I think even like we got above freezing according to the temperature, but the feel like was like 20s.
It was bitter all day. And I made a fatal mistake on Saturday evening.
Uh-oh.
I forgot to leave my water on drip.
Oh, did you pipe freeze?
It froze.
Pipe freeze situation?
Well, the water part froze. I was so far blessed that none of my pipes burst or, exploded or anything.
Good.
But,
blow dryers?
I had no water, no nothing for the first half of Sunday. And I was sitting there watching, like I was refreshing the temperature because I was afraid we weren't going to get over freezing yesterday. And we only barely did.
I know.
Like I turned my faucets on and then I had to run a couple errands, come here to the station and do a couple things. So I packed the kids up and we, ran out the house and we came back at around 1:30, 1:45 and I unlock and open my door and I hear shh. I'm like, the water's on! The water's on, everybody! It was one of the highlights of my weekend. Yes. A fine fat goose for everyone.
Now turn that off. I can't afford the water bill.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the other thing. It's like right now, it's like my water is consistently running. And with these raised rates, I don't know how I feel about all that.
Right, exactly. Well, we aren't getting above freezing today, according to 31 is supposed to be our high today.
Yeah.
So, and then 37 tomorrow.
And that's the thing is that's the best you can hope for unfreezing. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my phone.
What was that? I didn't know what it was at
to
first.
turn my ringer off, and I'm going to guess that's probably our guest that was texting me. But
I just heard. I didn't know what it came from at first. I was like, "Who's whispering?"
I saw Roy go that way, so I'm guessing he's getting him.
Good,
but yeah, no, that was definitely a bitter, cold weekend.
Yeah. Yeah,
and it ain't getting better from here because we're about to go into. They said the deep freeze, which I think starts from tonight at 5 o'clock until Wednesday at like midday.
Well, and this is obviously going on across the nation because DC this morning they were talking. I think they, obviously they moved everything indoors. They announced that last week, but I think I was hearing this morning that at noon today, when noon their time, East Coast time, I think they said it was like 0. So,
oh wow,
I'm like, yeah, I could see why you want to go in for that.
That's pretty cool.
And let's face it, our leadership in this nation aren't exactly young, stealth-trim people. These are some older.
Folks tend to get a lot colder as you get older.
I mean, we got a lot of Sanderses out there, and
the Scrapers and the Salters,
McConnell's and geriatrics out there running around. Trump, for that matter, he's 78 or whatever, right?
I heard a comedian that was talking about that's how politicians communicate is they get together and their neck waddles talk.
Yeah.
And that's how and that's why McConnell's still there because his neck waddle holds the most weight. It's like the Jabba the Hutt of neck waddle.
I've seen this meme. I just got it texted to me. But I've seen this meme about 30 times since in the last 12 hours. It is my favorite meme of the morning. But and all I'm going to do, because I haven't said nothing yet.
I was going to say your self-restraint, sir.
I don't know if the camera's on you or me. I think it's on you. I'm just going to do this right there. Throw that up there right there. Just a little that.
Yeah. You, I was telling Jocelyn over the weekend, I'm like, we're not going to hear the end of this. Right? Because last week he was going on and on. I know we don't stand a chance. We're not going to win.
But
but still, you were covering all your bases. You're like, I knew it was going to happen, and then that way you could gloat.
Because that's what this year is.
Yeah,
it's all gravy. We were supposed to get 6 wins. This is surprising.
I don't even know what to do with my hand.
Exactly. Like it's. Hold on. Which on me? On this camera?
Yeah. There you go.
And this is actually a true statement. So it's a meme of after the results of the weekend playoff matchup, it's America's rooting for in the conference championships, and it's a map of the country. And there's an all blue one for Buffalo with a little tiny red circle around Kansas City area. And then there's a big Commanders red one with a little tiny circle in the Philadelphia area there. But yes, everyone's rooting for everyone but Philly. And I agree with you.
And I agree with you.
Well, this would be weirdly odd because it would be a rematch of the 1991 Super Bowl between the Bills and the Redskins. Well, if that's a rematch, I hope your starting running back forgets his helmet in the locker room and misses the first series like the Terminator did back when Washington played him last time. Old Jim Kelly was at the helm back then.
Prepare for Terminator.
Thurman Thomas.
American Pie ruined that
Terminator.
Yep.
But yes, I'm a happy man. My team, they go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
We got to play Philly. And we've beaten Philly.
There's a real good chance, sir.
We've swept with Philly, so we know Philly. And part of me's kind of glad we're playing Philly. I mean, in honesty, I think we would have matched up better against the Rams.
It almost seems like a battle of the old guard versus the new guys, kind of.
Like for my team, going to L.A. would have probably been better because we would have had Jaden Daniels stomping grounds. And, even if they played in L.A., I'm not sure if they could or not yet. But, that's more friendlier territory for the Commanders than to go there. And the Rams are good. But, I don't know. We could beat them. But, I'd say this, they could beat anybody. They just beat Detroit over the weekend.
That's true.
They took them to the woodshed.
That was it was quite the
and I don't,
slobber knocker, as they say.
And this is the thing that gets me. And then we got to get our show going because I know our guests are pretty tight scheduled.
Mm-hmm.
But Detroit, all I heard before Saturday, Detroit they're gonna score 50 points. You're not gonna be able. And then we came in there and trucked them.
Yeah.
And all I've heard since then is, well, of course you won. You know how many starters on defense we have? I didn't hear one little eek about that on Friday.
Right.
All I heard about was how y'all going to curb stomp.
Hey, you're going to stomp a mud hole.
Yeah.
I don't see any mud
now
holes.
All I hear is, our defense was decimated. All I got to say is 5 turnovers. Your boy committed 5 turnovers.
Oof.
You lost.
Oof.
You got trucked.
That's oof, 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 and you're staring at it right there.
And you're going to be watching a game next weekend from the comfort of your home.
But it'll be warm.
Yeah.
Got your nice chair, snacks ready.
And if you want to doubt the Washington Commanders this weekend, keep doubting. That's all I got to say, because everybody's been doubting this team has been shown the door. And I know I'm a homer and I'm all that, but I'm legit thinking this team could win the dang Super Bowl this year. They are just that, the
just
momentum,
a suggestion,
the wave.
I feel like fate tends to go in the direction of the people closest to me and how they react. So last week you were humble and they won.
Yeah.
Let's not gloat this week. I don't want to jinx your chances.
I'm put it this way. I'm not gonna talk smack. What are you smelling?
Clove. Anybody else smelling clove?
I can't smell anything.
Straight up smells like clove in here.
No.
That's crazy. Anyways, I'll be intrigued to see what happens.
Well, I just hate Philly. They're toilet people.
Yeah.
The entire team is toilet people.
They drink water out the hose. They're not that bad.
I hate Philly. I hate Philly with a passion. And I will not give them any respect.
The hose?
The hose, yeah.
Yeah, I give them zero respect.
Speaking of Philly, it's so weird, right? Because, Commanders, y'all beat Philly, and y'all beat Detroit. Yet somehow, y'all lost to the Cowboys.
Any given Sunday, my friend.
We lost to the Phillies, too. To the Eagles, too.
Whoever's writing this
We lost 5 games.
Whoever's writing this
Y'all
script.
lost to the Phillies?
Yeah.
Dang.
The Blunts.
Whoever's writing this script forgot to account for power scaling because.
Right.
Yeah. So are you part of the whole the NFL is scripted?
I did see something over the weekend that was like, if you believe the spoilers, the colors that have been released already are red and green, and I'm like,
y'all are entitled to your opinion, but I think y'all wear plastic pants and sit in tubs of Jello. The conspiracy brigade people.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was Eagles and Chiefs again. This year.
That's what everyone's fearing. But no one wants that except for Eagles fans and Chiefs fans.
I mean, there's footage too of the refs kind of, giving the game to Patrick Mahomes on his first Super Bowl.
The Chiefs have benefited. I ain't gonna lie.
They're basically at this point getting to that level of the Patriots were at several years ago. They got what we in the smart community like to call go away heat.
Well, we got the announcers starting to say, "Hey, maybe you should have called that one, or not called that one."
They've got that kind of okay, we get it. Now, can you please leave?
Yeah. And it happens to
a
every
little
game.
while.
In the Detroit-Washington game, there was a play where basically Detroit got one of their touchdowns over a phantom face mask. We had them dead to rights stopped, and then a phantom face mask got them a first down, and they went on to score. And then some would argue, although if you know the rules, after Stafford threw a pick six, Loval, our linebacker, he basically lit up Stafford, just rocked him, knocked him on his buttocks, and everyone's like, "Oh, roughing the passer." I was like, he already threw the pick. He went from quarterback to defender. he was trying to block a dude or try to tackle a dude. He's fair game at that point, and he got lit up. But anyway.
I'm sorry, you lost me at Phantom Face Mask. I've just been thinking about variations of, that's a good band title. I feel like maybe we could work that into a sports podcast.
The Phantom Face Mask.
Phantom Face Mask.
Yeah, it's a new Marvel character. Yeah, exactly. All right, let me give you the rundown. We got a busy show for you. We're going to have Dr. Keon Agar, Dr. Sarah Usher join us with Carabelli Dental here in just a few minutes. Give us an update as they're back in full swing and pretty busy. They've got a lot of ground to make up. So after being closed and everything else from the flooding, so we'll get an update from them. In the 8 o'clock hour, about 8:15, we're going to have Kerry Moore join us from the Chaves County Health Council. Give us an update there. I think we're going to talk a little bit about homeless and some of the stuff going on there as well too. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, about 9:15, Elliot Rodriguez with Loan Depot will join us for his monthly visit and talking just advice on home ownership and buying homes and that good stuff. He's not the guy that helps you buy the house, out picking it like the agent. He's the guy that helps get the financing secure. So we'll talk with Elliot here about 9:15. Plus, we'll have all of your newses, local, national, variety, and all that good stuff, and whatever else we can come up with for today's show. It is 7:19. Let's get you up to date on the weather. It's going to be cold.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Pretty chilly for the next couple of days. We're in the mid-upper 30s for the afternoon high today. A few clouds, but we should get some sunshine too with high pressure over the area. A few clouds and maybe a snow flurry or two for the overnight hours. We're in the low to mid-teens, and then sunshine and mid-upper 30s coming up for Tuesday. A lot warmer by Wednesday. We're back in the 50s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 19 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 57% with winds out of the east at 6 miles per hour. We do have an extreme cold warning in effect for today, and that's going to kick in at 5 p.m. this evening and through 11 a.m. tomorrow because it's going to be cold. Today's high, 31, with increasing clouds. Northeast winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly cloudy early, gradually clearing, but an overnight low of 9. Single digits tonight, 9. Winds will be, wind chill values as low as -1. Winds will be out of the north, 5 to 15 miles per hour. Tuesday, sunny, high of 37 tomorrow with wind chill values as low as 0. Winds will be out of the west, 5 to 10, shifting to the south for the afternoon. Tomorrow night, Tuesday night, mostly clear, overnight low of 18 with south winds at around 5 miles per hour. And then finally, Wednesday, we're hitting 50s, 56. That's going to feel like summer. Sunny and 56 on Wednesday. Winds will be out of the north at around 10 miles per hour. Thursday, sunny skies, 48 for a high there. Friday and the weekend warming up, actually. Friday, we're looking at sunny skies, 59 for a high. Saturday, partly cloudy and 63 and sunny and 57 on Sunday. So get through this because the weekend sounds like might be actually kind of pleasurable weather-wise. So we'll see. All right, 21 minutes after 7 o'clock. Let's take a, we got to get you into Roswell Livestock Report, then a quick commercial break, and then we'll talk with Dr. Sarah and Keon from Carabelli Dental. Don't go away.
Good morning, this is Smiley Wooten at the Roswell Livestock Auction. A big January run this week with a nice selection of all classes of cattle, especially high-quality native weaned calves, light yearlings, bred cows. Expect to sell 1,950 head, breaking down like this: 125, 150 weight cows of bulls, 150, 175 pairs of bred cows, 1,650 calves and yearlings today. Sale will include 10 to 15 cow-calf pairs, mostly black, white-face Angus and Brangus cross cows with black calves, pairs 7 to 10 years old. 37 bred cows. Ken Smith Incorporated, Hobbs, New Mexico. Excellent quality black Angus cows bred to high quality Angus bulls. These cows are northern genetics, mostly third trimester and 3 to 5 years old. Fancy set of young Angus cows in good flesh. 81 calves, Mr. Earl Baker, Van Horn, Texas. Excellent quality black white face, red white face English crossbred calves. Cattle wean 90 days, 2 rounds of shots. Thin condition 300, 450 pounds. 70 calves, light yearlings, Los Adobes Ranch, Winston, New Mexico. Excellent quality black Angus, weaned 45 days, 1 round of shots. Cattle are bunk broke, 700 pounds. 133 yearlings, the L7 Ranch here north of Roswell. Excellent quality, 85% Charolais crossbred yearlings. Cattle wean 90 plus days, 3 rounds of shots. Bunk broke, 600, 800 pounds. 45 calves, 4K livestock here at Roswell. Excellent quality black white face and Charolais crossbred calves. Cattle weaned 60 days, 3 rounds of shots, medium condition. Bunk broke, 375, 500 pounds. 71 steer yearlings. Rio Hondo Land and Cattle Company at Picacho, New Mexico. Excellent quality, 80% black Brangus. Cattle weaned 90 days, 2 rounds of shots, right off some short wheat. 600 to 775 pounds. 77 steer yearlings. Mr. Dave Mead at Verdon, New Mexico. Excellent quality black Angus and Brangus steers. Cattle weaned 70 days, 2 rounds of shots. Bunk broke, 600 750 pounds. 31 heifers, the Mescalero cattle growers, Mescalero, New Mexico. Excellent quality red white face English crossbred heifers. Heifer calves, cattle weaned 60 days, 2 rounds of shots, 275, 375 pounds. 86 calves, Mr. Jace Garrett, Cedarvale, New Mexico. Good quality black white face Angus crossbred calves. Shots at Brandon, 450, 650 pounds. 76 steer calves, the Barrow Cattle Company, Andrews, Texas. Quality black white face, red white face English crossbreds. Cattle are light weaned, 2 rounds of shots, 500, 650 pounds. And 75 calves, the Travelstead Ranch down at Carlsbad. Excellent quality black white face Angus crossbred calves. Cattle weaned 60 days, 2 rounds of shots, 350, 500 pounds. Several smaller consignments of high quality native weaned calves and yearlings. Sale time this morning will be at 9 o'clock. Sell pairs of bred cows 9:45. Be selling calves and yearlings around 11:30. Fairly short on weigh cows. Be on the bred cows and pairs off pretty quick, so don't be late. We expect to sell 1,950 head. This is Smiley Wooten, Roswell Livestock Auction.
Coming to the Liberty, Friday, February 7th. Don't miss a great evening with Los Lonely Boys.
How far is heaven? Lord, can you tell me?
And special guest, Shiloh.
Now I'm dodging a Ford in my Chevrolet.
Doors open at 6 and the show starts at 8. Tickets are on sale now at thelibertyinc.com. Get yours before they're gone. Don't miss an evening with Los Lonely Boys. And special guest, Shiloh. Friday, February 7th at the Liberty, 312 North Virginia in Roswell. This is a 21 and up event.
Hi, everyone. This is Melanie from Glenn's Furniture. Valentine's Day has been a time-honored tradition of expressing love and affection for the wonderful people in our lives. Why not honor them with the comfort and new smells of furniture from Glenn's? Leather, wood, and luxurious fabrics are beautiful reminders of how much they are loved for many years to come. Skip the roses and chocolates this year and give gifts that last. Come see us at Glenn's for Valentine's Day on the corner of Union and Alameda, where delivery is free since 1953.
Central Valley Electric is continually learning and advancing technology that improves electric service, reliability, and safety, and in turn enhancing the quality of life for members that we serve in our local communities. CVE offers an account management program called Smart Hub that allows members to track their usage, set up convenient pay methods, and the ability to manage their energy use with smart technologies. A secure system such as Smart Hub is an easy tool to use. To sign up, visit cvecoop.org and click Smart Hub to get started.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. There are 293 ways to make change for $1. Try all 293 on the guy who keeps borrowing money from you. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 26 minutes after 7 o'clock. And joining us in studio this morning, they let him escape the building for a little bit, from Carabelli Dental, Dr. Sarah Usher, Dr. Keon Agar as well. Good morning, guys.
Good morning. Good morning.
Happy Martin Luther King Day, inaugural day. Happy Monday.
Yeah.
It's a lot going on.
Happy go outside, become a popsicle.
Yeah, happy freeze your patoozies off.
Yeah.
I'm happy my pipes didn't bust this weekend. So
that's that's something we can all give thanks for. But put them on tonight because
it's supposed to get really cold tonight.
9.
Oof.
9.
9.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Just breaking records all over.
If
the
you
place.
forgot over the weekend, don't forget tonight.
Right.
Good call.
But anyway, speaking of sort of broken pipes. Speaking of water.
Water and Carabelli Dental don't get along.
Yeah. You guys, for folks that don't know, the flooding really devastated the Carabelli Dental offices.
There for a little while,
and you guys spent 6 weeks which, to be honest, that's pretty quick.
Crazy.
Super quick.
I think when it initially happened, you were probably thinking a lot bigger time period, weren't you?
I think
we didn't really know what we didn't know at the time,
right?
And so we just kind of hit the ground running and said we're going to do this.
Sure.
And so we got some really good people on our side. I really want to say thank you to Gabby and his sons.
Gabby's the best.
Yes,
and
that was
his wife.
Gabby
and his wife
and
for Linda loaning Gabby to us.
Yeah, he's our contractor throughout all of this, and him and his family are just phenomenal people. But anyways, people like him and the blessings we've had and the support
I saw a
that
lot
we
of
had
stuff on Facebook,
from the
social
community.
media.
I mean, there's no reason
Where the public were just coming to help out. I thought that was
Exactly.
cool, and that was
because of that support, we're able to, to be back in the building.
Well, and this is kind of what it's awesome that they do that. But this is why you guys do the stuff you do, like where you'll spend all weekend just working on people's teeth at various events and things.
Yes.
Free or no charge.
But that's not why you do it, right?
But
I
mean, you do that stuff. But you know what I mean. But
I think it just all comes full circle. Like we're here for each other, type of thing.
But I think because you do those things, people step up and say, "Hey, those guys are always helping out." That's the mindset that
True.
It's very much. And the thing I'm hoping, and I don't want to get into finances and stuff, but I know that you guys have invested a lot of money in that building. When COVID hit and the ventilation and all that stuff, like I'm hoping insurance is helping on some of, or at least you're getting some kind of, because I'm pretty sure replacing the equipment you had to replace and whatever else, you just can't roll down and order that on Amazon real quick.
Let's just say that dental insurance turns out is oftentimes even better than property insurance when it comes to flooding.
Well, it comes to flooding. That's
it didn't happen. So
I think that the big takeaway from all of that is that we're back and that we're just so excited to be there from a staff perspective and a team
we're
perspective.
Our eyeballs in debt right now, but we're back, baby.
I try not to think about those zeros behind that number.
But I understand.
But it's a blessing to be back. It's really I don't know how it was for you, but for myself, that first week was like surreal. It was going from we wore work boots and it was just
tool belts to lab coats.
Kudos to our team and to Sarah for like leading our team and like keeping. Our team was amazing. Our I've always said that we have an amazing team, and I knew it in our dental office because they treat people well. They're good at what they do. They're motivated. They're just incredible.
Sure,
incredible people. But when this all happened, they showed up with shovels and hammers and work boots, and they went to work doing something completely different than cleaning teeth.
Right.
And
they're cleaning walls out of the building. I mean, literally.
Well, and this is from my perspective as a person that's a customer from that side of things. I'm in there 2-3 hours a year maybe after all said and done.
Yes.
But I can tell every time I go in there, as a testimony, what you're saying, Keon, is every time it's a very family environment where it's professional, but at the same time very relaxed.
Sure.
Where you walk in, crack a joke, walk out. You know what I mean? The music going.
It's very a joke. No.
Do we even let you? I mean, between all the instruments in your mouth and
the biggest problem I have every time is we'll get Keon in here eventually. He's got to shut up. So that's like the biggest thing every time.
I think that was probably the most challenging thing for our dental assistants is Dr. Hager.
But it's a family, is what I mean. Right. It's a family with and so it does not surprise me just based on seeing how everyone just kind of interacts in your office.
Yes.
It does not surprise me that the day after the flood they're in there in the hip waders doing what they got to do to get cleaned
They're
up.
amazing. They're amazing. But we're back. We're back. It was truly just amazing. We couldn't have done it without an amazing group of people that helped us and a lot of prayer. But we're back. It's amazing and it's strange and we're basically back to 100% again.
Sure.
And, just
now you're playing catch up.
Well, it's funny. It yes and no. I think the first little bit was a little bit of catch up, and now we're kind of just back to
Just a normal.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we during while we were closed, we were able to get a lot of our emergencies seen by other dentists in the community who were just wonderful.
Sure,
we're able to see patients at their offices, so we were able to kind of keep we would work we kind of keep people
triage the things that needed to happen,
right.
And then we can reschedule the things that can wait a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, exactly. And so we were able to kind of really do a good job and kind of and get people the care they needed while we were down. And luckily we weren't down for 6 weeks is a lot, but 6 weeks it felt like a long.
A lot of our patients will walk in, they're like, I can't believe I'm sitting in this dental chair right now. How did you do this? And so it's like so cool because then they also recognize how awesome it is to even be there. So that gives me more positive energy too, looking at the positive of all this, and they're excited to be there, which is so cool for us,
Absolutely.
They wanted to be there,
Well, and that's again going back to all the other stuff we talked about too, the experience your patients get, and this is before flooding, before all just regular dental talk when we talk normal dental stuff.
Yes.
That's kind of one thing we always talk about is as the customer, you're in the driver's seat, and you guys understand that when people top 5 places people don't want to be in the world, usually dentist office is one of those places. And so you do everything to make that is a pleasant experience. And again, it's back to what I was talking about, the family, just relaxed environment. If you're uncomfortable about, the drills and everything, we can sedate you to make you more relaxed, or, we'll knock you out if you need to, I guess. But Mr. T,
one way or another. Yeah.
Mr. T would get on a plane.
All our dental assistants, they're much stronger now, physically. So,
that's right. With all this physical manual labor, they got guns now. And
now their left hooks have improved. Yeah.
No, the gun show walking around this way.
But it's it's truly a blessing just to be back to what we're doing.
Sure.
And able to do, because it's also kind of one of those things that with the amount of stuff, the type of stuff we do, we do a lot of implants, we do a lot of sedation, all that stuff. It's not like you just set up a room and throw some stuff in there. It's all very specialized things.
Calibrated.
To put someone to sleep. It's just not some you can't just do that. You go to a typical dentist and do that. That doesn't happen.
Right.
It's not. That's not how that works. And we, from a safety standpoint, so the ability to rebuild all of that technology within our office to back to where we were. Some of it even has improved, and so we've,
a few of the machines got updates since you put in the last one.
It was just one of those things. Some of our, some of the efficiency we found things were now that this new technology's out, let's implement this instead of using something that's 3-4 years old. Let's do a new technology.
You have an opportunity here,
right? So it's let's continually just improve ourselves and improve the team and I'm not the most organized in my mindset like Sarah is. Sarah has
you guys have your yin and yangs, I'm sure.
Exactly.
But Sarah, was able basically we rebuilt the office, built in more efficiencies, more safeties, more just things that really I think not as many things that you can see from a patient standpoint, but from a safety, from a technology standpoint, from a just overall patient care standpoint improved, which is really, really cool. So
exactly. Look, comfort standpoint, because as some of this equipment, is more, it's less invasive, less time involved, or it's kind of
it's cool. It's really cool to be back. It's just a blessing to be back, and it's we love what I can speak for myself and Sarah. We love what we do, and it's fun to be able to do it again.
That's part of the other thing too. When we were joking about getting Keon from room to room, and that's part of it because you actually interact, talk, treat with your patients.
Right.
You get involved in their lives as you get, and so as much as it's Mayberry meets ER. You know what I mean? And what I mean by that, it's got the state of the art of the ER, the latest and greatest, but at the same time, it's like walking into Andy's office in the town drunk, just letting himself into the jail. And I'll see you in the morning. You know, that same feel.
Yeah. Very homey.
Yeah, exactly. Just down home.
One of the things that we like to do with patients when they come in is to understand where they're coming from and kind of like what their goals are, or what they need, or what they want. And a lot of the times, it's nice to have the conversation, like you said, that Dr. Agar has, Keon has with the patients, and we chat with the patients, understand where they're coming from, what they want. So all the treatments that we provide and all the options we provide are to help patients get what they want or what they need. Is it get out of pain, or is it something different to change my smile? I want to look like this, or I want this, or I've been trying to whiten my teeth for so long and it's not working. What's an option, and so all those things are important to us when the patient comes in. One of the things we've been focusing on lately is veneer treatment, and it's something that we're doing in the office. One of the, as we've, Dr. Agar has said, changed our technology and the different things that we're doing. So we're really focused on helping people from even an aesthetic standpoint, boosting your confidence. Maybe people wanted this smile that they always thought they couldn't obtain, So different things like that. Dr. Agar spoke about implant treatment, things like, hey, I have a missing tooth. I wish I had a tooth there again, or I can't chew. So these types of surgical or even, aesthetic treatments are something that we love to provide to patients.
And the technology in that area is advanced.
Yes.
Like I remember the first generations of veneers and things, and you're like, whoa.
How you doing?
It's like, close your mouth, it's a little bright in here.
Well, what you're saying is true. It actually more. It's actually really. It's actually amazing, because we kind of know all this. We know these things, and
when you can't tell they're veneers, it's when it's amazing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When you're just like something has changed and your smile's great,
That's what I'm saying. This isn't your daddy's veneers, is what I'm trying to say.
Exactly.
And it's funny you say that, because that was for us for years was something that we for example. Okay, so we adopted 2021. We pretty much went fully digital within our dental office for implants, for crowns, all this stuff. We went digital.
Molds.
The reason why now digital technology has been out since 2010. Okay. And every time I looked at it, I was like, every year I go, or every 2 years I go look at it. I'm like, this is not as good as what we already are doing. Right. So I'm not going to adopt this. If it's not better, it could be faster. It could
why
be more
go backwards
efficient.
but don't have
Why?
to?
If I can't provide a service that's better than what I currently do, then I'm not going to do it. So we were still taking molds and stuff. Well, 2021 came around. 2 technologies came out, and they were better than what we were doing.
Gotcha.
So we adopted both.
Time to upgrade.
Right. So we adopted one, and then the next year adopted the other.
Which is all digital.
It's all
digital planning.
When it came to veneers, if you asked Sarah and myself veneers in 2020, we were kind of like, veneers suck. They last a couple years. That they don't look so good. It's just not that they.
The
suck.
juice isn't worth the squeeze.
Right. It was. We were kind of steering patients more towards, hey, this is not really the best option for you, because, I just felt like the technology was not there. It was like, as like what we've discovered is basically in the last, recently, the techniques involved in veneers, the ability to look at everything digitally and put it all together and everything, can actually do a long-lasting smile now. Before, it was kind of like you basically were getting like gel nails on your teeth, and that's fine. They look nice, that's fine. But now,
it's like playing on the Atari versus playing on your new computer.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The graphics are way better now.
It's true. Yeah, it's true. To the point where Sarah spent 2 weeks in Brazil with some of the veneer masters who've been doing it for 40 years.
Just so happen to be in Brazil.
But
on the beach.
But it's interesting because those guys are some of the best.
It is summer down there right now.
But you got to remember, they, the people. So the reason why Brazil is where you learn veneers is because it's the entire country is
There's got to be some plastic surgery going on down
there.
Yeah. I've seen Brazil.
They are a very physically conscious population,
right. And so the technology, the money, the research is there.
The demand is there. Whereas in the United States, it's not as oftentimes it's not as much there for pushing those techniques and really refining them, because so much of American dentistry oftentimes is insurance focused and whatever. They don't have all that down there.
Sure.
Right. So
built for comfort, not for speed.
Some of the best, some of the most amazing guys in the world are there because it's like they have all these Victoria's Secret. I mean, half the Victoria's Secret models come from there, right?
Well,
These guys are the guys working on them.
It's the weather's nice. There's always beaches. Yeah, it's a good place to hang out if you got a skill set, and a lot of people that need it.
Yeah. So because I know we've looked around the country to find who's really doing what we think is the type of treatment we want our patients to get.
Absolutely.
And so Sarah can speak more to that, but it's like one of those things that years ago we both were kind of like in agreement, and like this is not something we really want to offer our patients. We can't stand behind it.
And I'm not, when it comes to the cosmetic side of life in embedding in yourself, it's hard to make a case. Like, okay, if you're needing breast implants and things like this, I'm like, all right, that's your choice or whatever.
Sure.
But when it comes to cosmetic dental work, whether it's dentures or veneer, whatever it is,
yes,
it's a different animal. It's a different animal because it indicates a health. Like if you see someone with a mouth that does not look healthy,
yes,
you're going to assume the rest of them is not healthy,
right?
Too, you know what I mean? And in many cases, might be true.
And really, that's the oral cavity, the mouth. It's a gateway to the body, right? And just like you said, so if there's something that if there's something that can be changed from a health perspective, let's change it, right? Or let's help you get to whatever those goals might be. You know, when it comes to veneers, and sometimes some of us are a little, are maybe our smile is pretty good, but we just want to refine it, make it even a little more wider, a little bit more straight, or close that gap. But just as you mentioned, there's also situations where people have stained teeth that cannot be whitened.
Absolutely.
So those types of people are they want the smile that they can,
and that is
or the shape of their teeth. You don't get to select the shape of your teeth. Sometimes people are born,
and that could be a true handicap in life for them if they, depending on their circles they swim in and what they're trying to do in life. That's
So go ahead.
I was just going to say, and with that type of treatment, it's very mildly invasive. It's not invasive. It's not painful. It's not a surgery, and it's very quick. The turnaround time to have what you want in your smile is obtainable, and it's a really nice option to, like I said, boost someone's confidence or to meet their goals for themselves, So.
I think, the longer I live, and you get older and stuff, and you just kind of like you start looking around, and I think so many times we see people who, and I think the younger generation is a little bit more aware of this, and they're very much like, no, I don't want to say selfish, but they're a little bit more like, no, I want this for myself, right? Whereas I think a lot of like my generation, maybe Sarah's generation, is very much focused on, my parents, my children. It's a little bit different. But I think that it's one of those things that I think it's important to.
Sure.
You have to take care of yourself, right? You have to take care, and you deserve. And I really, one of the things I really believe is
you
deserve
don't, no one else
to
will.
feel good about yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, you deserve to feel good. Like why live 40 years of your life, the next 40 years of your life, like not smiling because you hate your teeth.
Sure.
No,
and there's a solution.
If there's a solution, you should do it. I mean, and then just go live your life.
Yeah, and
right?
if fear is the big reason why you're stopping, what I'm saying is come in and give it a chance. And that's where this is where I'm saying the fear is something you've built up in your head.
Right.
Once you walk in the room, once you sit down, you're like, this is what I was. That's what I'm trying to say. That your whole staff, you two, your whole staff are excellent at providing that ease, trust. Hey, we got you. This is not, and by the time,
at least come check it out. You know, at least you're not committed to anything. Just come and see what it's all about.
And by the time you're done, I guarantee you're going to be like, that was really, I really built up for nothing. And things like that. And trust me, the end game is where you're going to be so thankful you did it. I know, like we talked with Sean and what you guys have done with his mouth and everything else, and it's a game changer for him and for people like that. And so, get yourself that opportunity. Come make an appointment. Talk. Like I said, they've been busy, but they'll get you in now. They're finally got back into the groove, the normal nice groove that they've set up to get everything going here. And so please come down and visit. Please get an appointment. Is it carabellydental.com? I can remember if there was a dot, another fancy dot on it. Carabelly Dental, which Carabelli.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah.
You know,
Easy
boom.
breezy. Nice.
I type it into the computer a lot when I'm putting the commercials. I got to spell it right because it comes up on RDS. So if I spell it wrong, the world knows real quick.
There you go.
Carabelli. What is it? Carbadoobie? What is it?
But yeah, it's just we're blessed to be back. We're enjoying being back. It's fun. We're having a good time, and we're just excited.
Yeah.
It's funny. We love what we do, and we've always kind of loved what we do, and we've always been excited to go. But it's a newfound appreciation for even being able to go take care of our patients.
Absolutely.
So it's wonderful.
Yeah, and I do want to just definitely, again, to anyone who's listening, to say thank you. Thank you to the people who stood by us through all that tragedy at the flood, and thank you for everyone who stopped even just to say hello, people who even silently prayed for us. I think that all that is the reason why we're sitting here today having this conversation. So from the bottom of our hearts and from our families, we just do want to say thank you to Roswell and to the surrounding communities and everyone who helped us. So thank you very much to everyone.
We talk about patients coming in who, maybe they're kind of feeling without hope about their teeth or their smiles, whatever. And I think that like in that first week, we felt that, right? Didn't feel. It was hard to find.
Whole. Felt a little kicked down a little bit.
Yeah. A lot of down, and felt like this is hopeless.
Like world's winning right now.
Yeah. And you're looking around.
Throw me a bone.
You're looking around, and entire neighborhoods are destroyed.
Sure.
And it's just so devastating. And the people that came and not only prayed for us, they visited us, they brought us food, they came and helped, they put on their tool belts, and they showed up every day. It was just.
And as the progress happens, it starts, one room starts getting cleaned out, and the next room.
And then the hope, and then you just have hope, and you're like, this is awesome.
We got this.
But it's taking that first step. And that's really what we're saying here is once you take the first step,
exactly,
you're going to find out it's going to be a great ride, and
the dental office isn't as scary as you think it is.
Yeah. Exactly.
And if it is scary to you, we'll put you to sleep.
We got you.
And sometimes, depending on what they don't even need the drugs. Keon just talk, and you'd be like, next thing you know, just kidding.
That'll put them to sleep. Yeah, there you go.
We got options for everyone.
Yeah, that's right. Mr. T, we'll talk you to sleep, we'll bore you to sleep, we'll drug you, whatever. Just kidding. That's but please, and here's the thing. Thank you guys. This is I know I see you guys are very, very grateful and everything, and we know that, but at the same time, I think the community is very grateful for that, and I really do believe you reap what you sow, and I think the rallying, the folks, I think you saw a little bit of what you sowed.
I appreciate that, Mike. Thank you.
And that's why I thank you guys. And the great part is, all the services you're doing, and because of what you're able to continue with that.
Yes.
And that's something. And I know the amount of outside of the 9 to 5 of your office work you guys do to work in the community and help people out in various levels in the dental world, and so I'm thankful you're able to continue that, and I'm thankful that you guys are here to do it with us.
Cool. So, thanks, Mike. I appreciate that.
Yeah. CarabelliDental.com, and come on down, get your appointments, and if it's an emergency, whatever, call, and they'll get you in as soon as humanly possible. There, not right this minute because they're here. They're here.
They're actually there. If you want to call right now, 575-622-4455.
Yeah, the people that do the cogs in the wheel, they get all the everything.
The actually
going
important people are there. Yeah, right now.
Actually, I did see multiplicity over the weekend. I'm pretty sure there's a couple of Sarahs and a couple Keons over there right now. That's how they got through this. That's what we're not admitting. It was prayer and multiplicity.
There you go.
Thank you guys.
Thank
I
you,
know you got some work with Sean next door here, and then you got to get to work. So thank you guys, and I'm so glad
we're blessed to be
well.
back.
Anything else we can do, please let us know.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, 7:51. Let's pause for news. Kim Commando, commercials, and I think that covers it. Don't go away. We'll be back.
Now for your Pecos Valley News Update. I'm Jared Cirillo. We begin with a traffic alert in Roswell for you today. A short section of West Bland Street will close to all traffic for an anticipated 2 weeks starting on Thursday. A statement from the city says this will allow workers to repair a water line leak. West Bland Street will be closed between North Sycamore Avenue and Birch. Motorists are asked to seek alternate routes during the project. Those driving in the area are reminded to observe all project-related signage to help ensure the safety of the work crews. A missing hiker rescued on Sunday at Guadalupe Mountains National Park. Authorities said the hiker had climbed to the peak on Saturday, but then got lost coming back down. Park spokesperson Theresa Moore would not say the hiker's name, age, or gender, claiming requests from the family that the person not be identified. The hiker had been reported missing Saturday afternoon and was located by the rescue crews around 11 a.m. on Sunday. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello.
Do you never turn your phone off? Is Bluetooth always on? Answer yes to these. The NSA says you're playing a crapshoot with your privacy. I'm Kim Commando for Total AV, the award-winning antivirus software for just $19 a year right now at protectwithkim.com. It can get confusing, so let's sort it out. The NSA's purpose, the National Security Agency, is to listen and collect communications from satellites, cell phones, anywhere really. You can use the same powerful NSA procedures to clear your phone from spyware. Your first one, turn your phone off. Wait 10 seconds, turn it back on, and do this at least once a week. Turn off Bluetooth when you're not using it. Leaving it on lets your phone constantly look for devices, which hackers can exploit to steal data or send malware. And skip those public USB ports, say at the airport or at a coffee shop. Hackers can use them to install malware or steal your data. So be sure to bring your own charger and always use a wall outlet. Get my free newsletter at getkim.com.
I hear this a lot. Bob from Chicago wrote me, I thought I was being careful. I got an email from my bank that looked legit. It said that there was suspicious activity, so I logged in to secure my account. A minute later, my money was gone and I was locked out of my account. Wow. Even the most careful people can get caught up by these clever hackers and scammers. That's why you need solid antivirus protection that instantly blocks harmful malware threats and viruses in real time, keeping your personal data and identity safe. Total AV is the award-winning antivirus software that I use and trust, and so do 35 million other people. Now, it could have stopped this from happening. Here's what you need to do. Go to protectwithkim.com right now and get Total AV for just $19 for the first year, covering up to 5 devices, including Windows, Macs, and smartphones. That's protectwithkim.com. Now, don't wait. I want you to go right now. Your security matters. Get protected right now. Go to protectwithkim.com.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Pretty chilly for the next couple of days. We're in the mid-upper 30s for the afternoon high today. A few clouds, but we should get some sunshine too with high pressure over the area. A few clouds and maybe a snow flurry or two for the overnight hours. We're in the low to mid-teens, and then sunshine and mid-upper 30s coming up for Tuesday. A lot warmer by Wednesday. We're back in the 50s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
It's time for the Chaves County Sports Report. Roswell and Goddard both in action. Boys and girls, well, not Goddard boys, but everybody else. And so let's get you some scores. The Roswell guys won at Rio Rancho on Friday, 61-58, and then came back home and defeated Lovington 59-43. For the Roswell girls, they lost to Rio Rancho by a score of 60-46. The Lady Coyotes are 12-6 on the season. It was a good weekend for the Goddard girls, defeating Moriarty by a score of 56-30, and the oft-delayed game against Tucumcari on the road, that finally took place on Saturday, and Goddard won in a squeaker by a score of 63-21 over the Rattlers. Aubrey Boyanos with 18 points. She's a junior for Goddard. Jasmine De Leon with 13. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. All eyes are on Capitol Hill this Inauguration Day. Some analysts say Donald Trump will inherit a strong economy and a border that seems under control, but he has said he plans to impose steep tariffs and deport millions of immigrants who entered the country illegally, policies that could reignite inflation. Some economists believe his proposed hikes could well be a negotiation tool. Honda has been ordered by the U.S. Consumer Financial Protection Bureau to pay $12.8 million for reporting inaccurate information that affected the credit reports of 300,000 drivers of Honda and Acura vehicles. The U.S. Federal Trade Commission is suing PepsiCo for offering preferential pricing to a large retailer identified as Walmart. The practice can feed consumer prices by placing at a disadvantage other retailers, from large grocery chains to independent convenience stores. That's according to the FTC. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
What made Roswell Hyundai the #1 used car dealership in southeastern New Mexico for 2023? Great selection, great savings, and great people. Roswell Hyundai has an amazing selection of makes, models, and model years to choose from. If you can't find it, Roswell Hyundai can get it. And Roswell Hyundai will take any trade. The experts at Roswell Hyundai will work with you to get you behind the wheel of your next dream ride. So, what makes Roswell Hyundai the #1 used car dealership in southeastern New Mexico? You do! Come check out the Used Car Supercenter only at Roswell Hyundai, 1909 West 2nd.
Are you ready to succeed? The School of Arts and Sciences at ENMU Roswell covers a broad curriculum. The certificates and degrees offered within these programs will prepare students to realize personal, professional, and occupational objectives, from ag science and agricultural technology to behavioral science, biology, bookkeeping and accounting, business administration, criminal justice, education, and mathematics. ENMU Roswell can set you up for success. Register now on campus or online at roswell.enmu.edu. Eastern New Mexico University, Roswell. Success starts here.
You have a life, places to go, things to do, people to see, but it's hard to enjoy life when you have pain. You don't have to live that way. Softwave Therapy from Premier Chiropractic in Roswell can help you. Softwave's cutting-edge technology is non-invasive and can help your body heal. This new technology uses therapeutic energy waves to activate the body's dormant stem cells to promote natural healing. Sessions are quick with short treatment times. Start healing today. Call Premier Chiropractic at 623-2900 or visit healthyroswell.com.
How do you find a roofing contractor you can trust? You can randomly pick one, cross your fingers and hope for the best, or maybe you can ask a psychic to predict who's trustworthy. Here's a better idea. Choose one who prefers using America's most trusted roofing brand, Owens Corning. And rest easy, because Owens Corning screens their contractors for reliability, professionalism, and customer service. Why take any chances? Owens Corning, trusted contractors, proven products. For an Owens Corning preferred contractor, visit owenscorning.com/roofing.
For a free estimate, give Do Right Roofing a call today, 575-623-2273.
Find them fast in names and numbers.
Hi, Chef Anthony Noble here with the Valley Cafe at 801 West Brasher. We love serving you our delicious meals for lunch and dinner. The next time you're in on Monday or Tuesday, bring the family and take advantage of our kids' dinner special. With the purchase of an adult meal, you get a kids' meal for 20% off. That's right. Get the kids fed, save a little money, enjoy what I got cooking in the kitchen. Come visit us at 801 West Brasher in the Orange Building across from Church on the Move in Roswell. We have it all. Come taste and see.
Don't forget, you can also find the Valley Cafe on our website at toasttab.com/Valley Cafe. Also on DoorDash, Grubhub, and Uber Eats.
Your home for Kim Commando in Roswell. 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. At this hour, President Biden and the First Lady are hosting President-elect Trump and the incoming First Lady at the White House. Town Hall News White House correspondent Greg Clugston.
Donald and Melania Trump arrived here after attending the traditional Inauguration Day church service near the White House. The incoming and outgoing presidents are having tea, which is a long-running custom, although Joe Biden did not receive the invitation 4 years ago. Soon, the two presidents will leave for the inauguration ceremony, sharing a ride to the U.S. Capitol. Greg Clugston, the White House.
Mr. Trump has a long to-do list as he prepares to return to the Oval Office. His priorities include securing the borders, regaining energy independence, jump-starting the U.S. economy, and making American cities safe again. Bitter cold and dangerous wind chills prompting today's presidential inauguration to move inside the U.S. Capitol Rotunda for the first time since 1984. And House Speaker Mike Johnson says the frigid Washington temperatures outside are not making a dent in the enthusiasm surrounding today's festivities.
There's a chill in the air, but a warmth in our hearts. This is a big, big thing for the country. We cannot wait to get our 47th president inaugurated and to begin this great new work. We're going to usher in a new golden age in America. That's what President Trump has been saying. That's what we've been echoing, and we really feel that that's true.
Donald J. Trump takes the oath of office as America's 47th president, 12 noon Eastern Time today. President Biden has issued another batch of 11th hour pardons. Preemptive pardons for Dr. Anthony Fauci, retired General Mark Milley, members of the Congressional J6 Committee. Mr. Biden calls the subjects of the pardons public service servants, stressing that his action doesn't mean that they did anything wrong. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
Britain's National Polar Research Unit launching a recruitment drive, hoping to convince people to apply for jobs in Antarctica.
Christmas is over, and for most, the daily routines of work and school have well and truly resumed. But one research organisation is looking for people who want to switch cars for skidoos, roads for open seas, and have an office looking out at icebergs, whales and penguins. The British Antarctic Survey wants people to fill roles including carpenters, chefs, electricians and plumbers. It promises zero regrets, paired with a contribution to science that will help provide a critical understanding of our world.
The BBC's Frankie McCamely. China has executed 2 men who committed deadly attacks, killed dozens in November. State media reports that one of the men rammed his car into a crowd outside a sports stadium, killing at least 35 people. News and analysis, townhall.com. The House of Representatives will meet today to start approving the Trump agenda.
The next meeting of the House is scheduled for 10 a.m. today, Monday, January 20th, 2025. Majority Leader Steve Scalise posted the agenda for the week following the inauguration of Donald Trump to be the 47th president. Legislative priorities include protecting U.S. borders, improving forest management and restoring American forest health, requiring medical care for born-alive abortion survivors, and providing aid to communities affected by wildfires in California. The president-elect has said that he will visit California on Friday. Bernie Bennett for Inauguration 2025.
From the northern plains to Maine, people bracing for dangerously low temperatures as residents along the East Coast dig out from under a heavy blanket of snow. And for some places, there's more snow in the forecast through midweek. Watch for more lake-effect snow across parts of western and central New York State. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2. The Deuce. Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Thank you, Roy. Sean's in there.
Sean's
recording commercials right now with Sarah there. So he's busy doing day jobs. So happy Monday. Happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Happy
Dr. Sarah Usher.
Yes. And
I don't know if it's Dr. or if it's
Dr. Sarah Usher. She's a dentist. Yes. And also happy Inauguration Day as well. Here is, I guess he'll be sworn in at noon. So right about the end of the show today, he should be taking the oath of office.
Yes. So this will officially be the last hour, but with Joe Biden as president.
Correct.
Technically speaking.
Yeah. And they like them in D.C. We too are experiencing frigid temperatures this morning. Just to give you a little
at least until 9:15.
Yeah, like right now, our current temp in Roswell, New Mexico is 20. So, I think it's colder in D.C., but this is New Mexico, 20.
You know, their inauguration was supposed to be at 11:15, but I thought they were Pacific time over in D.C.
No, they're Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah, because I thought since they're on the East Coast, right?
Yeah.
Or they're on the,
Yeah, D.C.'s on the East Coast.
Oh, wait, the East Coast, yes.
Have you seen a map lately, Roy? They haven't moved it.
But California is Eastern time too, isn't it?
No, it's on Pacific time.
It is, okay.
Yes. Yeah. Everything west of us is on Pacific.
Okay. For some reason, every time I see something from like California, it's always Eastern time.
No. If you watch like TV commercials, a lot of times they'll say like tune in at 8 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific, which means it's 7 p.m. 7 p.m. Central Time, probably 7 p.m. Mountain Time too, unless it's live. Then it's 6, and then they preempt it on the other.
Yeah, I got my East and West mixed up too.
Yeah. Well, and I grew up on the East Coast, so like football.
Yeah.
Football for me started at 1 in the afternoon. Like church would be way easier East Coast because you go to church and football starts here at 11, and sometimes church is just getting started. But in East Coast, it starts at 1, so you can go to church, get your luncheon on, and then get back by kickoff. Because it's 1 o'clock and 4 o'clock. The drawback is Monday Night Football starts at like 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Or 8 o'clock, actually. So it's what time's football starts? 6:15, 6:30? So about 8:30 at night when it starts. So
everything starts latest.
Yeah.
For y'all.
Primetime TV starts at 8 o'clock on East Coast. Like it's 7 o'clock here. East Coast, it's 8 o'clock.
Yeah, see. Okay, see, I always thought it started earlier on the East because, that's when the sun rises and stuff.
Yeah, they start it later there, so it's not too early on the West.
Right.
Like, that's why it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon, but it's 10 o'clock in the morning in California when football starts. So it's kind of, which my brother was talking about. This was years ago. He went to San Diego for work, and he had to spend like a month there. And it was during football season. And, he loved it. He goes, I get up, and right there, football's on. But,
That's funny.
But the drawback is literally Monday Night Football, you're up till 1 in the morning trying to find an outcome out for those games here.
Yeah.
So when the Redskins played it.
Oh, my God, still?
No,
Sorry, I'm just kidding.
Be honest, that's the first time I've said it when you walked in the room. But when I wait up to watch a Redskins game, it would be 1 in the morning before the game was done. So I had to explain to him that DC was on East Coast.
Okay. I leave you alone for 5 minutes and you can't stop talking about it.
No, I had to explain time zones to him. And so I was talking about football starts at 1 o'clock on the East Coast. So, but yes,
that's how the British feel basically when they have to watch wrestling.
Yeah,
They have to watch it like 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
But what all started this was about the time the show ends today at 10 is when
the inauguration begins.
Trump will be swearing in as president.
Well, and actually, because I think it begins at 11 a.m. local time, so that's 9 a.m. our time.
But I think
But the swearing in
is at noon.
Is at noon, yeah.
Yeah, I think the actual swearing in is at high noon.
Mm-hmm.
Tumbleweeds, all that. Yeah.
Yep, and they've moved it indoors to the rotunda.
Mm-hmm.
They've said that they're going to be moving people down to the stadium.
Capital One Arena.
Yeah, Capital One Arena to.
It's indoors as well. That's where the Caps and the Wizards play.
For overflow seating or whatever.
Yeah, I think they're doing their balls and rallies and all that kind of stuff out of
See?
Hey, that's a name for your band, Balls and Rallies. But I think they're doing all that at the Capital
Opening
One
up
Arena.
for Phantom face masks.
Actually, that sounds like a bar name. Bars and Rallies.
Bars and Rallies. It's right up there with Boot and Rally. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what takes place.
But yeah, that's all. And of course,
so the live stream is only at 9, but the actual swearing in is like at noon.
Well, they have like an hour of like processional and then like Pledge of Allegiance. There's like a whole presenting of the guard.
It doesn't matter. You turn on the TV right now, it's going to be this.
Yeah, it's all just pomp and
coverage.
circumstance.
It's going to be talking heads, pontificating.
Pundits pontificating precisely.
Yes,
booting and scooting, even
spewing their whatever they call it. I wouldn't say information, but whatever, spewing their time to kill. Because really, it's inauguration day. Any of these events like this, it's a 2-minute thing in 37 hours. It's the Kentucky Derby horse.
Yeah. I'm surprised they haven't broke out the Fox Skadoodle yet. Yeah. Here's a guy. Boom.
Oh, if John Madden was doing it, I'd actually watch it. Because he'd be pointing out there. John Madden be over here. What's Barry doing over here with his foot?
Here's a guy that used to be president. Now, boom, he's out.
This guy's got the gavel. Boom, he's going to be bringing it over here. Yeah, I'd watch that.
This inauguration presented by Snickers.
And Outback Steakhouse. That was for those who are old enough
Mike's
to
Hard
remember.
Lemonade.
Well, for those who are old enough to remember, of course, John Madden had a fear of flying. And so he never flew to games. He had his Madden Cruiser, which was a Greyhound bus that was all pimped out,
right?
That he basically got ushered around the country in. Well, towards the later years of his career there, I think Outback Steakhouse sponsored that truck, that bus, the Outback bus. And but there was notorious stories of that bus just showing up at like a Cracker Barrel in Butt Scratch, Indiana, and John Madden rolls in with his crew and just you know what I mean?
Buys out the menu.
Yeah, just and everyone comes the whole village comes to eat with John Madden at the Cracker Barrel.
It's the most American sentence you've ever said, my friend.
There's just
the whole town comes out to eat with John Madden at the Cracker Barrel.
There's just countless stories.
But for John Madden, it was only Tuesday.
Well, I just wonder in the later years when it was all outbacked up, he could only hit Outback Steakhouses on the way.
I'd imagine, yeah.
He's like, there ain't another one for 200 miles. Boom, I need to stop one. We need to get a to-go bag.
Yeah, when you're representing one specific brand, you got to, I imagine you're probably just eating that brand.
It was just so much Outback Steaks and Miller Lite.
Here's a guy that loves a blue and onion.
And that's why he was a big man. But, they said he could eat, too. Boy.
He was balling and rallying.
Yeah. I don't know how we got on John Madden after all of that.
Well, I can follow the path back. I left enough breadcrumbs to figure it out.
All of it really started as saying, "Is the president will be sworn in at 10 o'clock our time?" That's what really started.
The answer is Murica.
There you go.
Yeah, it looks like everyone's filing into the.
It's like a funeral.
I guess the rotunda.
Funeral
it always looks
processional.
like a funeral or something.
Well, I mean,
they got to go through security and all that
Yeah.
stuff. So there's a bit of a, and to be honest, there's so many ways into that building, like from various ways in and out and all that. So it's kind of like.
Well, there's Elon.
Elon.
Is it?
Yeah.
I missed him.
I can't tell if it's him without a tight-fitting black T-shirt.
They all literally have the same color suit on as they're all going into the thing. Like, which one is it?
Yeah, and they're in
suit.
lockstep too. It's like you could play taps over this and it would fit.
I wonder if they have like a spread before they go in. Like, can they nosh?
I imagine there's like a nice crafty.
Right. You think like here's a
little baggies of pretzels,
charcuterie or something. Various
fancy cheeses.
I don't know. It is it's early our time, so maybe some croissants or something.
Yeah. A couple of those little mini bottles of Martinelli cider.
Or if it's Trump, McDonald's hash browns.
Right.
I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
Actually, that'd be pretty good. Let me give you the rundown for this hour of the show.
Yes.
We'll get you up to date with the weather here in just a few minutes. Spoiler alert, it's cold.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll be cold. Matter of fact, tonight, single digits. 9.
My jaw dropped when I saw that.
Yeah, 9 tonight, overnight. So
9?
Which talks a little bit about our guest here, which I'll get to in just a second. But we'll do the weather here in just a bit. Then we're going to take a break, and then Carrie Moore with the Chaves County Health Council will join us here in just a bit. Give us an update what they've got going on, but talking a little bit about resources and things with the cold weather, with homeless, all that stuff, because it's just it's a lot of help's needed right now. So
reportedly, we lost another one over the weekend. I guess.
I heard. I saw on Facebook.
So
it's, Saturday night or Friday night?
Yeah,
Saturday. I can't remember which.
I think it was Saturday night into Sunday.
Sunday.
It's definitely a dire time out there, and if you can give, please do.
Yep. So, but Carrie Moore will join us here from the Health Council and join us. And then after that, we'll get you update the news and whatever else we can come up with for this hour of the show. But first, it is 17 minutes after 8 o'clock. Here is your weather. Hold on to your breath.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Pretty chilly for the next couple of days. We're in the mid-upper 30s for the afternoon high today. A few clouds, but we should get some sunshine too with high pressure over the area. A few clouds and maybe a snow flurry or two for the overnight hours. We're in the low to mid-teens, and then sunshine and mid-upper 30s coming up for Tuesday. A lot warmer by Wednesday. We're back in the 50s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 20 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 57%. Winds currently out of the east at 6 miles per hour. Increasing clouds and a high of only 31 today. We're not even getting above freezing. Winds will be out of the northeast, 5 to 15 miles per hour. We have an extreme cold weather warning issued for tonight beginning at 5 p.m. That's going to remain in effect through 11 a.m. tomorrow. And here's why. Mostly cloudy, gradually becoming clear, but an overnight low of 9 degrees with wind chill values as low as -1. So it's going to feel like -1, 1 below 0 out there with an actual temp of 9. Winds will be out of the north, 5 to 15 miles per hour. Sunny on Tuesday, high of 37. So at least we'll get above freezing if you want to. But with wind chill values as low as 0. So above freezing, but not going to feel like it. Winds will be out of the west, 5 to 10 miles per hour, shifting to the south. Tomorrow night, we're looking at clear skies with an overnight low of 18, which is double the overnight low of tonight, which is still cold, but it doubles. Winds will be out of the south at 5 miles per hour. Sunny, and Wednesday will be the first day that feels somewhat normal. Sunny, 56 for a high on Wednesday. Winds will be out of the north around 10 miles per hour. Thursday, we're looking at sunny skies, 48 for a high. And then the weekend, pleasant for January. Sunny, 59 for a high on Friday. And then Saturday, we're looking at partly cloudy skies, 63 for a high. And then sunny and 57 on Sunday. So they haven't talked about wind yet, but cross your fingers. This weekend might be pleasant. That's the word we're going to use. Pleasant. We'll see. All right, 8:19, we're going to take a 3-minute break, and then Carrie Moore with the Chaves County Health Council will join us on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Hey, Roswell, Happy New Year. Roswell Ford has a New Year's resolution you're going to love. We resolve to sell more new Fords in 2025, so we're going to make it super fun, super fast, and super easy, just for you. In fact, we'll give you the price we'd give to a friend or family member right up front. So bring us any trade in any condition. Don't even wash it, because at Roswell Ford, all trades are welcome. Making payments on your current vehicle and want out early? We can help. We'll take your trade, even if you owe thousands more than it's worth. Worried about your credit? Don't sweat it. Roswell Roswell Ford has partnered with more aggressive lenders, all with great rates and terms for good credit, no credit, and even bad credit, with rates as low as 0% APR. Plus, we have a great selection of low mileage, one-owner pre-owned vehicles, all in prime condition, starting at just $10,000. Huge savings, exceptional trade-in values, and a better buying experience. Get on board at Roswell Ford, 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell, or online at roswellford.com. 0 APR for 48 months is $20.83 per thousand finance, plus tax, title, and license with approved credit.
Innovation, service, integrity, and knowledge. J.S. Ward and Son Insurance Agency. Auto and home, life and health, personal and commercial. Bonds too, since 1925. We have the coverage for you. Innovation, service, integrity, and knowledge. J.S. Ward and Son Insurance Agency.
Wakefield Oil Express has the highest quality service in Roswell with a 17-point full-service oil change that includes a full wash and vacuum at their car wash. You won't find a better deal. They also offer full synthetic oil changes, fuel and cabin filter replacements, and will even check your battery. Their tunnel wash isn't afraid of dirty vehicles. They have the best value wash in town with free vacuums. They even offer wash passes that can be used for multiple vehicles. Next time you need your oil changed, go to the fast and efficient Wakefield Oil Express and let them earn your business. 3204 North Main, Roswell.
The ultimate Wi-Fi experience is now available to you thanks to smart home Wi-Fi with Plateau. Get fiber to home technology 100 times faster than average household internet speed. Plateau has multiple plans and options to fit your family. With fast, get true 100 megs per second download and upload speed. With faster, get true 500 megs of download and upload speeds. And with fastest, you get 1 gig. Learn more at plateautel.com. Get the speed you need with Plateau. Tried, true, trusted.
Strong women need strong partners to help them lead their healthiest lives. At Artesia General Hospital, Dr. Scott Beard and nurse practitioner Lori Crockett deliver compassionate, holistic care to women at every age and stage. From routine checkups to diagnostic testing and specialty services like urogynecology, you can expect the most innovative, personalized care close to home. Learn more about women's services at Artesia General Hospital online at artesiageneral.com/women or by calling 575-736-8394. Many women's services are also offered in Carlsbad.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The U.S. Treasury once considered producing donut-shaped coins. They instead decided to go with coin-shaped donuts. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 23 minutes after 8 o'clock. And joining us in the studio this morning from the Chaves County Health Council, Carrie Moore back with us. Good morning.
Good morning.
Happy New Year.
Sure. I keep forgetting it's a new year. That's why it's cold, right?
That's right.
Because we're in the winter.
It is January, but thank you for blazing through the tundra temperatures to get here this morning. So
I had to remember to plug my truck in, which is the weirdest thing to have to say is...
Is it a diesel?
Yes.
Yeah. My dad, growing up, had a station wagon that had a diesel engine, and he did the same thing. You plug it in, and it works. Like, yes. Everybody on the block, they're like, woo, woo, woo. There was that. I mean, that thing was a hunk of junk, but in the winter, boy, it'd fire right up and go. So, yeah, it works.
Yeah, so I've had my truck for, I don't know, over 10 years. Yeah. Didn't know anything about this. 2 years ago, they're like, yeah, you need to plug it in. I'm like, what? What does that mean? And I'm like, holy crap, there's a plug on my engine block.
Yeah, well, I don't think New Mexico generally doesn't usually get temperatures cold enough you have to worry about stuff like that. But right now you do.
Yeah.
And, but often you could probably get away with it in New Mexico and not worry about it. Because it really is designed for, you know, when you live in upstate New York or places like that where it literally is snow on the ground all the time. And but right now that definitely is a plug-in. But you'll be the envy of the neighbors when no one knows the car starts. But that kind of gets to our point here with the cold temperatures and everything. Of course, the Chaves County Health Council has been busy. I mean, it's always busy, but been particularly busy since the flooding started as being the triage central for all flooding resources and things. We're still doing that kind of work, but it's starting to shift. You know, FEMA's now kind of packed up. They have, but they haven't. I mean, they're not at the mall anymore, but they're still available.
They're still floating around. They just don't have a centralized location.
Yeah, so we're kind of wrapping that stuff up. But what we're really trying to do is triage some resources here for the situation we got with people, homeless folks, things like that. We have an influx. We already know that.
Right.
The temps are cold. It's been 18, 20. It's going to be 9. And with the wind chill, I think they said -1 tonight or something like that. We need to get these folks indoors, and we need to get them in ASAP. So we need folks' help.
And it's a little bit more than just the homeless that we see on the streets, because we've got 200 houses that were affected from the flood. And if we look at the whole valley, it's even way more than that. We know that we have people who are still living in these homes that may not have electricity. They'll have open walls, so they don't have the good insulation.
Sure. Or they're staying in like a camp trailer or whatever. And I'm sorry, that ain't going to keep the cold out in this kind of cold.
Right.
You know?
So, we have a whole plethora of people who are just freezing right now. So we have to make sure that, we have to get the word out that right now we do have a warming shelter for today and tomorrow.
And it'll be the place that it's been at Westminster Presbyterian Church. There, and I hear that, I know like Food Not Bombs, there's a few other organizations that have been shuttling folks from downtown or other areas because it's not downtown. It's we're making do with what we got here, but it's not generally centrally located for the homeless, basically. So we're trying to funnel them down there as we can and things like that. But it is open tonight, and I'm hoping tomorrow night or next couple nights here at least. So
it's open all day today, and then
we're not even getting above freezing today. So at like 8:00 tomorrow, I think, is the release on it. Okay, and then they'll come back that night here. But I'm thinking the things we need right now is obviously blankets, sleeping bags, warm things, stuff like that. But we also need volunteers, is what I've been hearing, is we need folks that can help, even if they're just there to help distribute, but we need bodies to help at the centers and things like that. We're needing those kind of resources.
Right. And he does have a volunteer sign-up form on his website. I think it's on his website and on his Facebook.
Okay.
So you can go in there and see what shifts are available.
And that's Westminster Presbyterian Church, or is this through the disaster relief?
Disaster relief.
Community disaster relief. Go through that Facebook page, Roswell Community Disaster Relief. The signups are through that. It's Westminster's housing it and funneling it through the Community Disaster Relief. That's kind of the chain of command on this one. So.
Yeah, and because it's his baby, we're not really involved in it. We see the resources out there, and so we share it, and we make sure that other people are aware of it. But when it comes to the details and all the finesse of it, you'll have to get with him.
But if you have time and availability, I ask that you reach out, because this is the kind of stuff and these are the resources that we're having. Like there's been, and I don't want to get into all the details, but over these other nights, it's like, well, we can't open because of enough people. Blah, 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 blah. I mean, they're juggling those kinds of things, and so the weather's happening. The thing's going to happen. This is not a matter of if. This has got to happen. So if you can volunteer, it's going to happen whether there's one person or no. But because we can't. People are going to die if you leave them out in this stuff overnight.
Right. It takes two things to be able to operate this kind of stuff. You have to have people, and you have to have money.
Yep.
There's some money there. It was the lacking of the people to be able to open.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the process on all nonprofit-y type stuff and resources when it comes to dealing with the community. Two things. That's what it takes.
Absolutely. Bucks and people. And so we need people. And so please ask to reach out. And if you have any questions about anything, the 211 resources always, they'll help you as much as they can to get you information to whatever resource. That's what 211 is for. That's something that the Health Council, that's their main thing they've been running. And so if you have questions about needs, resources like that, don't hesitate to use 211 as a resource. They can get you in touch with the people, whether it's the Community Disaster Relief or someone else that can address the need that you're having.
Right.
That's been ongoing even before the cold stuff here.
Well, and right now we're in the process of, so resources dry up, people change, numbers change. So right now we're in the process of rebuilding our database.
As it's kind of shifted here, as FEMA's chalks and other things are changing. That's kind of, I
Right.
gotcha. Yeah.
Well, yeah, in fiscal years, I mean, it's always funky on the fiscal years,
Yeah.
and everybody's a little different. Federal government happens in like October.
Sure.
State happens in July. Regular normal people, it's in January.
Everybody's got to be different.
Right. There's nothing that's consecutive or consistent
Can we have
anywhere.
a meeting and put this all at the same time, please?
Right. So right now we're looking, if you're a nonprofit and you provide any kind of service to the community, get with 211. We can give you the form and get you filled out so that you can get into our resource guide or get on our list. But it's not just the nonprofits. It's if you offer any kind of service. So if you have a behavioral health program, we need those resources because we have people who are looking for, I need a place for my teen to go talk to a group because they're dealing with some stuff. Well, we need to know where to send them and
Sure.
who to contact on that one.
Yeah, you guys literally are that stopgap that when people, if they're new to town or, a new situation arises in their family, don't know where to turn, that's where it is. So it is imperative that if you do provide these services, please get with the Health Council. Call 211. Say, yeah, I heard them on the radio. We do a intervention program, whatever it is that you offer. Please reach out and get it on the radar so we can help each other out on this one.
Yeah, and it's really easy this year. It's a simple form. It's 26 questions to fill out, and then you get to choose if you want to be put out into the public where you're actually published,
Okay.
or if you want to be internal and it's like a warm handoff situation
Yeah.
where it's like, not everybody needs my phone number, but people need to know this resource is
Sure.
here, and we can do it that way. So, we're trying to grow it and make it better as it goes.
Yeah, it's kind of and this kind of spawned with the flooding stuff, kind of this mixed match list. It's like people offering services versus people needing services. How do we, play that match game and draw the lines to the right ones? And that's kind of what this list is built to do.
Right.
And now it's expanding beyond the flooding stuff into just general healthcare needs and resources.
Well, it's still a combination of both. So speaking of the flood, we are tomorrow. Tuesday?
Yes.
At 5:30 over at CASA at 500 North Main.
Okay.
We're doing a long-term recovery group meeting.
Okay.
So what that means is, so FEMA's done their thing. So all the federal money has been applied for.
Doled out or, yeah.
Well, not necessarily doled out because you can still go in there, but you can't, if you haven't applied with FEMA, you can't apply anymore.
Right. You
so
can finagle it, but you can't create a new case here, basically.
Right. So that part's done. So now we have to say, okay, well, I didn't what's next? My house is still disheveled. I can't get into my home. I still don't have enough money. I can't find a contractor. That's the big one right now. Can't find.
I'm about to say they're very in demand right now.
Right. Can't find those services. So we need the long-term group to come in here and say, okay, here's all of the contractors who are qualified and licensed to work in our area.
Sure.
Because we don't want to deal with the
fly-by-nights and the flim flam artists and all that. Yeah.
So here's your list of resources. Okay, well, FEMA didn't give me enough. It's going to cost more. So we have the private donors who have done. So now we do case management and we say, okay, what can we do to help you get you to where you need to be?
Sure.
So then we go through and we say, okay, well, we have X amount of money that we can put into this project so that we can do that. But that'll happen after we build these resources, right? So we have to get the group together and say, okay, here's who we need. Here's what we got to do. So let's come together. So if you are a mover and a shaker, if you are in the construction industry, mechanics, automobiles are also another one that they're having a hard time finding. If you provide any of those kind of services, come to the meeting tomorrow night.
And specialized too, your electricians, your plumbers, your those specialized artisans too. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, because we're going to have to start building those resources, and we need to create this long-term recovery group, and it will be for Chaves County, and it will be long-term. So even after the flood is done, and we've got that done, this group will be in effect. So should something else happen, we don't have to reinvent the wheel and start all over again.
Sure.
We have something that we can activate. Which is something that I think we need because, we have tornadoes in the area. We have high winds. We have a lot of things that go on in Roswell.
We get a little, we're not like we're not known for any of them. We just get every of them every once in a while. You know what I mean? It's like we're not in Tornado Alley, but we see one every once in a while.
The only thing I think we have not had is a hurricane.
Right. And I ain't gonna lie, that would be a tricky one. Like we have to. I think California have to go in the ocean before we start to worry about hurricanes.
Which is a good thing.
Right.
Dang it, let us not have something.
That one will have to move.
Yeah. So again, the long-term recovery group meeting, and again, this is not for anybody who was affected by the flood. This is just for resources, the people who provide resources.
Sure.
Is going to be Tuesday, January 21st, which is tomorrow, 5:30 at 500 North Main. It's the bottom suite 102.
Absolutely. So if you're out there offering these resources, whether and whether it's the building side or even other, the medical, any of that kind of support too, come to this meeting and let's see what we can put together.
Yeah, because we have we're seeing signs of PTSD.
Yeah.
So
people are going to be looking for those resources. So we need to get this to the list.
Yeah.
I know a lot of us are thinking bricks and, rebuilding, and that's part of it, but there's still people that need the medical help. There's still people that maybe have additional medical needs because of the flooding now and things like that. So come to the party. We all want to, if you're financially, if you're and that's another thing too. Like you said, there's monies out there that private people have done. If you're just hearing, hey, reach out to the health council. If you're saying, I would like to be one of these private benefactors that adds to the pool of money you have available. God bless you. But we would love to have that too, because I'm telling you, whatever's sitting in that pool now is not enough.
And right now it's about combining all the resources in town. So one of the things we have to understand is we don't want to take over the efforts that other groups are doing.
Sure.
You do you, boo.
Work in concert with.
Right.
Yes.
But we need to know who it is you're helping, so that way we can make sure that all the resources get spread out so that everybody gets help and it's not.
Absolutely. And at the end of the day, it's to help each other. So
right. We're a community.
You're not spinning your wheels doing things, or people aren't aware of what you're doing. Let us help get you out there, promote, and say, yes, they are helping. Please, that way if you're saying we offer this, but you're sitting there with your shovel in hand waiting on a job, I don't think there's a lot of people doing that. But if you are, now you're on the list, you're plugged in and connected. I will say this, in the meantime, for folks that are, if you get the contractors coming, if they're not registered with the city, you do not need to talk with them. I'm just telling you right now, if they come knocking on your door or whatever, or you saw them on Facebook or whatever it is, if they can't prove to you that they are registered, or you need to walk down to the city hall yourself and check in on them, and if they aren't part of there, then you need to not do business with them. Just for your own protection. Because that is the reddest of red flags that says that they're probably not on the up and up.
Right, because we're also getting those calls. So-and-so took advantage of me. They took my money but didn't finish the process, or the process was shoddy and it didn't pass code. Because this all still has to pass code.
Yo, absolutely. And that's just it. They may do the work, but it's like,
Yeah, did you pull your permits?
Right.
There's a whole plethora of stuff that has to happen to be able to do a lot of this
And at the end of the day, it is
stuff.
for your protection. So they don't. So your house, when the next storm hits, you know what I mean? This is what it's at the end of the day. So please do your own research for your own protection. If they come offering something and and be honest, it sounds really too good to be true, it probably shady. The next thing you know, when you talk to them, next thing you do is go make sure that they are registered with the city, that they are licensed and everything else. And then if that is, then feel free to talk to them. But if you don't get that, then I would move on.
Right. And we are getting calls on the 211 line saying, hey, I need help finding a contractor. I need help finding a mechanic. And then it's like, okay, let us see what we can do.
Yeah.
It's a little early because we need the resources built.
Yeah.
But we'll be there. We will help however we can help.
I've never used them before, but is Angie, those websites do they work on things like this? Or
I don't think it works here.
Okay. See, I don't know. I've never used one before.
Well, and I've looked, but part of the problem with some of that stuff is it works great when you're in these big
cities or where the amenities
they use
are.
Those. Yeah. We don't do that. Everybody here talks to somebody or puts it out on Facebook.
Sure.
Hey, who does this?
Right.
Well, everybody and their dog is doing duct and chimney cleaning right now. Are they legit? Don't know.
Well, that's what I was thinking. At least with Angie, they vet it. So I'm kind of like, maybe that's not a bad. But if they're not around, I've just seen the commercials. I've never actually done it.
I hadn't seen anything that I was able to find and utilize. So
Gotcha. So I was just thinking, in the meantime, to protect yourself a little bit, if there's but go to City Hall. That's your best. demand to see their license and or go to City Hall to go see if they got one.
And they're also registered on the Secretary of State website. So
Okay.
you can go into the
online and do it
Secretary
real
of State
quick.
and
Okay.
see any registered business in the state of New Mexico has to register with the Secretary of State, whether you're for profit, not profit.
Gotcha.
Everybody has
They
to
gotta know
register.
about you. Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, if you want to check the legitimacy of a business, look for them on
Very
Secretary
good.
of State.
Excellent. Thank you. That's a good tip, just to protect yourself.
Yep. Well, and so the other thing that we're also working on is the Together with Veterans.
Okay.
So
you've had a few meetings over the last several months on this.
Several months. So that is a rural suicide program.
Mm-hmm.
But we're also doing the Veteran Symposium
Okay.
for Chaves County. So we're in the process and the planning stage
Okay.
of that.
And that's kind of in years past. If you're familiar with those, it's a one-stop shop for veteran resources.
Right.
from-
So again, more resources.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of see what I'm about, people. It's all about the resources.
Yeah, but it's not even that one even goes from benefits to jobs to it's all encompassing with veteran stuff, and it's really trying to show veterans to tap into what you've earned, basically.
Right.
Because veterans are stubborn by nature, and even though they're entitled to it, they still won't apply because I'm fine.
Right. Yeah. It's a culture.
That's that rattlesnake guy, the guy that gets bit by the rattlesnake. Oh, walk it off, he'll be fine.
To my kind of people.
It's a lot of veterans.
we can fix it with super glue. We're good.
That's right. Duct tape it. We're fine.
Yeah. So we're working on the symposium. So if you are a business that deals with veterans,
But thank goodness we have the fairgrounds. They have great facilities out there to accommodate. So we appreciate
and because the veterans do free bus rides through the Pecos Trails.
Oh yeah, the transit. Yeah.
The transit system, we're going to set it up so that way we can get bus rides out to the fairgrounds. So that way we can make sure that
Perfect.
all veterans can get out there.
Transportation is not an issue to get you to the symposium.
No.
Because that's we have such great that's why like the veterans, like the medical transport and things like that they're such great organizations that because we have so many veterans that can't do that. So it's great that you guys
Exactly.
are kind of thinking ahead that way to. Oh yeah, I get it. It's the fairgrounds. That's a little bit out of the way. No problem. We'll bust them out. So good.
Yeah. And this year I am going to include veteran-owned businesses.
Oh, that'd be
so
cool.
I'm creating a veteran resource guide.
Okay.
So it'll have all the listings just like our regular resource guide, but this will be strictly just the veteran
I can
pieces.
think of a few right off the top of my head that might want to give you a call. So
Right. So what I'm going to do is we're making this guide. It'll be this journal. You'll have all your regular resources, but here's your list of all your veteran-owned businesses in Chaves County.
Sure.
And you can list your business free of charge.
And veterans pay attention to those things.
Right.
They will support a veteran. They'll be like, if they have a choice between two and one says that's veteran owned and operated, they'll probably walk into the veteran owned and operated.
And that one's again, it's really simple to fill out. You can call us. We can get you the information so that we can get you on it. Right now, I think I have a total of 3 veteran, and I know there's way more than that because I can name
I'm about to say, yeah,
a lot more.
Yeah, and so we would love to get and a varying of resources and businesses too. It's not all just food. There's quite a few variety of businesses that are
Right.
veteran owned in our community.
Yeah, I mean, you can be a doctor who is a veteran, and it's your practice.
Absolutely.
You are now a veteran-owned business.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And when I was doing the research, because I was looking to see, okay, well, who all do we have here? Because I know the people I know. There's no centralized for Chaves County that's listed.
Really?
Yeah, the most I've seen in one was like 5 businesses. And I'm like, why is nobody using these services? Because there are places where you can go and you can register your business.
I guess people just don't get the word out. It's kind of.
Again, we're our own island down here.
It's like those commercials for that dude that used to stand in front of the Capitol in the question mark suit with that brochure of hidden money everywhere.
Right.
Kind of like that.
Right.
It's all here, free money.
Yeah, so we'll put all that together for you.
Yeah.
We'll fill in those question marks.
That's right. But yeah, get out there, come in and come to these meetings and get involved with the when is the next veteran what's it? I can't want to say symposium because that's my word in my head, but that's the big event.
The team meeting.
That's
is February 15th.
Okay. The Ides of February.
Yeah. And again,
short
we're
month.
putting all this up on our website so that way you can see it. I'm working on revamping the whole website so you can see all of our dates and so that you can be part of these things.
be more interactive and all that.
Be more
good stuff.
interactive because, the Health Council is all about connecting the resources and the needs of Chaves County with the people. So we have to be able to talk and communicate.
Absolutely.
And so,
yeah. Well, it is. You're the conduit. That's
Exactly.
really at the end of the day, you're that bringing everything together. The healthcare, the professional world, bringing it to the people and telling them and showing them what's available. And it's kind of spawned to a little bit bigger with flooding and everything else, but all of it's
but
under
it's
health.
still it's
all
still
under
the
health.
same thing
Yeah.
because,
it's all health, because without food, shelter, and and water, you can't live, and that's health.
right. How you're feeling, the PTSD that falls into, hey,
Absolutely.
we got some things that we got to go talk about.
Well, you've heard it enough. We got mental health is one of those things that we need to like. We got a legislative session coming up. Please bark at your legislators. Whatever mental health fundings and bills we can get money to mental health, that should be priority one. And everything else, in my opinion, should take a second seat. Because, to be honest, you fix that one, you start finding the other ones will work themselves out.
Exactly, root causes. I was in a public safety meeting last week, and it's like nobody was thinking about it, but due to the flood, people are living in homes with other families. So now we've got people living on top of people who are experiencing some PTSD, but then, how much domestic violence cases are going to start ramping up.
The drinking's kicking up because the situations are in, or drug use is kicking up. Decisions start becoming less thought out and close quarters. It's just like the holidays. It's a recipe for disaster.
That's what I was gonna say. It's like holidays, but on a permanent level, and you just can't kick your family out and tell them to go home.
That's right. Yeah. You love your uncle or whatever it is, but after a while, you're like, just shut up.
Yeah, so we have to make sure the resources are there so that we don't experience any
so we don't
more
get to that. And
traumatic.
And I don't know numbers, but I'm pretty sure if you talk to our police department and sheriff's office, there probably have been a tick up in those types of responses they've been having to deal with over the last couple months. Here.
Yeah.
So I don't know for sure, but if I was a bet man, I bet that they are. So,
I think it's probably a little too early to actually put those numbers to it.
Right.
But since the holidays, I would guess.
I think here in a year from now, whenever there's statistics available, you're going to see an uptick in those types of crimes during this period. I bet my paycheck you will. So.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, please reach out, come to these meetings, call 211 to get your names on these lists, to get into the resource pool here. If you can help out with the homeless here tonight, please reach out to the Facebook of the Chaves County disaster relief thing so we can get volunteers so they can get that covered for tonight, making sure that not one homeless person has to sleep outdoors tonight or tomorrow night or the next couple nights here. Because if they do, I'm telling you right now, we will not have all these people with us in the morning. We're going to lose some tonight. And I'm saying it is more than one, because it's when you're getting to -1, I mean, literally, you're just, that's you going when you go to bed tonight, go laying in that big chest freeze in your garage and just close the door and put your pillow in there and saying goodnight. That's in essence what you're doing. And let's see what happens to you in the morning.
Go outside without a jacket on.
Yeah.
Go outside in a t-shirt right now, or well, maybe not right now, but I was freezing at 8. I mean, it was cold.
Absolutely. So this is not a question of if you got, this is an emergency. We all hands on deck. If you have some time, please reach out to to help to get, so we can get as many bodies there so they don't have to shut down.
Well, if we look at last year's point in time survey, it's over 200 homeless here now.
Absolutely.
So
I talked with Mark Green last week, and he was kind of saying that the spigot's off for the moment, if that makes sense. Short period.
Well, that's good.
He says they haven't shifted any down here, I don't know, in a while. But that being said, we still have a overflux of homeless, and that was before flooding started and before all the, to be honest, the Ruidoso fires created an influx.
Yeah, because we have some people from Ruidoso that are still here.
Yeah, there are still people here that they lost everything in Ruidoso and they can't get back, and they're here and they're on the streets and now they're possibly fighting for their life tonight, trying to sleep. So
right, I mean, because we were in a housing crisis way before Ruidoso fires, way before the flooding here.
Yeah, this is a crescendo of a lot of things, between being shipped homeless, between 2 major disasters within a 6-month period, and then now just weather doing weather. I mean, we are in a pickle right now.
Right.
We need all hands on deck, regardless of what you care about politics and all of that nonsense. These are human beings that need to live, and all human beings deserve a right to live, and we need to help do that, regardless who's president, regardless who's mayor, regardless who's whatever. Just let's get it done.
Because no matter what, we're still community.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so
we
have to look after our own.
Absolutely. So please, if you can help out, if you have any questions about anything we talked about, 211, we'll call that. And it is not a 24/7 hotline.
No, it is not.
So please don't use it at 2 a.m. But if it's during business hours ish, please help out there. Maybe not before 8, 7.
I'm thinking about 8:30 to 4:30.
Okay,
is when it's
gotcha.
active.
But if something happens at 5 or 6, give it a try. We'll see what we can help here. But
you can always message the Chaves County Health Council Facebook page. 2 a.m, I'll answer
that one. Yeah. Because she's up shopping. No, I'm kidding.
No, but I am up doing stupid things like research.
All right. Yeah, she's digging through. That's it. That's it. You're kind of an info junkie, I think, right? You kind of like to, yeah. You like to, because one thing that I always know about you were, this is something about Carrie, in the years I've known you, is you care about your community. You're active, even when you're still running 1, 2, 3 businesses at a time, you're still getting involved in the community, you know what I mean?
Yep. Somebody will say something that's like, "Ooh, what do you mean by that?" And then all of a sudden, 5 hours later, it's like, "Oh."
Yeah. And so, and I'm thank you that you are an info junkie and that you care, because it's folks like you that the reason we have a good health council doing this, and this is what we need to do. So, if there's more people out there listening, we need some help right now. So please reach out, and if you've got resources, or if you can. Please get on the list. If you can help out anyway, if you're a plumber, electrician, whatever, if you're a philanthropist that wants to give money, whatever it is, we want to hear from you on this one, because we need to get as many resources to triage as much of this as we can, especially now that FEMA's kind of starting to go off into the sunset here. Needs are still going to happen, and we gotta get our city back, and this is how we do it. So.
Right. Yeah. We have to get our county back, because
it's
way
city.
more than just the city.
You're absolutely right here, and then factor in Reno Air races and everything else. So it's kind of a big ball of a lot going on right now in Chaves County. So
yeah. So and even if you're not sure if you do or do not fit into what I'm talking about, call 211.
Yep.
It's real simple. We can either direct you or say hey, yes, no.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
or if you're
easy.
Confused about anything we talked about here, they can get it kind of broken down for you a little bit.
How do I reach Carrie? 211. They'll give you my number, and you can go straight through.
Yeah. 211. And don't forget, too, if you're new to town and looking for a doctor or looking for any of that, 211's also there for you, too. So please reach out. It is the official hotline for non-emergency and medical needs and resources need. Now, if you got a broken arm or whatever it is, 911, ambulance, it works here just like it does everywhere else. By the way, 211 is that's universal. So if you have out-of-town friends and family, 211 will work for them. Now, it won't be Carrie talking to them. It'll be whoever's running the 211 in their district or region or wherever. But throughout there, it's kind of like the suicide hotline,
Right. I was just going to say, you call 911 for all emergencies, 988 if you're having some mental issues or you need to talk to somebody.
Yeah.
And you need that mental place, 988. And if you need resources in the community that you're in, 211.
It's kind of, now, young people will not know what the heck I'm talking about. It's kind of like, 211's like 411, if you remember that one. It's more like information. It's not emergency, but if you want to know something,
and why couldn't they have used 411? I mean, honestly, that would have just made way more sense. And then you guys would know what we were talking about and not thinking, oh, they're old.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, think of it as for people our age, people with gray hair or no hair like us. My gray hair's right
So
here.
now instead of saying what's the 411, it's what's the 211.
What's the 211? Exactly.
We'll give you the information.
But yeah, absolutely. But is there anything we missed? Anything we?
Nope, I think that's it. We talked about veterans. We talked about the long-term recovery group. We've talked about 211.
Got it all. Well, Carrie, as always, appreciate it. And anything else we can do to help, please don't hesitate to let us know. We can get the word out, whatever, if emergency happens, which...
We're not having any more of those. We're done. I've had two. We're done.
We're done. We're out. So, but
dang it, Mike. We're done.
I think we've hit our quota. So we've met our deductible.
Yes.
Thank you, Carrie. We'll see you next time.
All right.
It is 8:56. Let's take a quick break before news. Don't go away.
Do you know what the hardest part of dealing with the roofer is? Just trying to get them on the phone. Jennifer here from Trustmark Roofing, and I want you to know that you can always trust Trustmark Roofing to answer our phone. Need a free roof inspection? Just call us at 575-755-ROOF, and we'll answer with a live person, a real human being. Have a roofing project already going with us and need to discuss it? Just call 575-755-ROOF, and we will answer the phone. No answering machine, no voicemails, and no weird robot automated attendant. That's because at Trustmark Roofing, we're all about relationships and treating people right. That's true for customers and vendors and insurance companies and employees. Anyone and everyone who comes in contact with our company. So if you have any roofing needs at all, trust Trustmark to treat you right and to answer the phone. Our number again is 575-755-ROOF, or find us online at trustmarkroofpros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first. Hi everyone, this is Melanie from Glenn's Furniture. Valentine's Day has been a time-honored tradition of expressing love and affection for the wonderful people in our lives. Why not honor them with the comfort and new smells of furniture from Glenn's? Leather, wood, and luxurious fabrics are beautiful reminders of how much they are loved for many years to come. Skip the roses and chocolates this year and give gifts that last. Come see us at Glenn's for Valentine's Day on the corner of Union and Alameda, where delivery is free since 1953.
So your pecans aren't as big and bountiful as they used to be? Well, what would Jim Gill do?
Hi, this is Ben from Roswell Seed Company. Few people knew as much about pecans as Jim Gill. And if he were here today, he'd tell you it was time to fertilize. He'd tell you just what you need and show you how to use it. Then he'd make some joke about your neighbors making fun of your nuts.
So when there's trouble with your pecans, head for Roswell Seed Company and ask them, what would Jim Gill do?
Now for your Pecos Valley News Update. I'm Jared Sorello. We begin with a traffic alert in Roswell for you today. A short section of West Bland Street will close to all traffic for an anticipated 2 weeks starting on Thursday. A statement from the city says this will allow workers to repair a water line leak. West Bland Street will be closed between North Sycamore Avenue and Birch. Motorists are asked to seek alternate routes during the project. Those driving in the area are reminded to observe all project-related signage to help ensure the safety of the work crews. A missing hiker rescued on Sunday at Guadalupe Mountains National Park. Authorities said the hiker had climbed to the peak on Saturday, but then got lost coming back down. Park spokesperson Theresa Moore would not say the hiker's name, age, or gender, claiming requests from the family that the person not be identified. The hiker had been reported missing Saturday afternoon and was located by the rescue crews around 11 a.m. on Sunday. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Report. Roswell and Goddard both in action. Boys and girls, well, not Goddard boys, but everybody else. And so let's get you some scores. The Roswell guys won at Rio Rancho on Friday, 61-58, and then came back home and defeated Lovington 59-43. For the Roswell girls, they lost to Rio Rancho by a score of 60-46. The Lady Coyotes are 12-6 on the season. It was a good weekend for the Goddard girls, defeating Moriarty by a score of 56-30, and the oft-delayed game against Tucumcari on the road, that finally took place on Saturday, and Goddard won in a squeaker by a score of 63-21 over the Rattlers. Aubrey Boyanos with 18 points. She's a junior for Goddard. Jasmine De Leon with 13. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell Talk FM 106.5.
President-elect Trump this morning for the traditional pre-inauguration tea. When Trump got out of the vehicle, Biden said, "Welcome home." It was one of the last events leading up to the noontime swearing in of Trump as the 47th president. After the tea, the two presidents shared a car ride to the U.S. Capitol.
For the first time in 40 years, the inauguration ceremony will take place indoors because of the cold weather.
I'm Rich Thomason. Mr. Trump vowing to hit the ground running, signing scores of executive orders upon his return to the White House later today, perhaps as many as 200 orders. Among his priorities, securing the borders north and south, regaining American energy independence, getting the U.S. economy back on track, and making American cities safe again. President Biden has issued 11th-hour pardons that have been the subject of much speculation since Donald Trump's election victory.
Those pardoned include Dr. Anthony Fauci, retired General Mark Milley, and members of the House committee that investigated the January 6th attack, like Benny Thompson and Adam Schiff. In a White House statement, Biden says he fears they might become targets of unjustified and politically motivated prosecutions. Fauci helped coordinate the nation's response to the COVID-19 pandemic and has been targeted by those who blame him for mask mandates. Milley, the former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, once called Trump a fascist. Jennifer King, Washington.
The Gaza ceasefire is holding, and the 3 Israeli hostages released by Hamas being cared for at one of the Mideast's premier medical centers near Tel Aviv. The 3 exchanged for dozens of Palestinian prisoners held by Israel. First came the heavy snow across the mid-Atlantic and the Northeast. Now dangerously cold temperatures are settling in across a vast area. The bitter cold from the northern plains in New England south all the way to the Gulf Coast. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
As President-elect Trump prepares to return to office, there have been more high-level talks between the U.S. and China.
China's Vice President Han Zhang held meetings with Vice President-elect J.D. Vance and U.S. business leaders, including Elon Musk, in Washington, as the two major powers tackle ongoing tensions over trade and technology. The Trump transition team says a range of topics, including fentanyl, balancing trade, and regional stability, were discussed. I'm Julie Walker.
Serbian officials say 8 people have died in a fire at an assisted living facility on the outskirts of the capital. A blaze that is suspected of having been set by a resident. 7 others injured in the fire. It erupted around 3:30 in the morning. Police say 30 people were in the building when the fire broke out, engulfing over a third of the senior care facilities. State prosecutor's office says an investigation is underway. Breaking news and analysis, townhall.com. For the third time in U.S. history, Martin Luther King Jr. Day and Inauguration Day, both on the same day.
The overlap is set for Monday, when former President Donald Trump will return to the White House for a second term as President Joe Biden leaves office. Due to calendar quirks, the two significant U.S. days will not coincide again for another 28 years. Presidential inaugurations have been scheduled for January 20th since 32nd President Franklin Roosevelt took office in 1937. MLK Day and Inauguration Day have only coincided twice before in U.S. history, the 1997 second inauguration of Bill Clinton and the 2013 second inauguration of Barack Obama. Bernie Bennett for Inauguration 2025.
Southern Californians bracing for gusty winds and a heightened risk of wildfires. Less than 2 weeks after deadly fires that have killed at least 27 people and ravaged thousands of homes, the National Weather Service has posted a warning of a particularly dangerous situation. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder. Bad and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The demolition, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to our number 3 of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Monday. Happy Inauguration Day. Happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day.
You know, I actually watched a really kind of fascinating breakdown of how they get everything ready for the White House from when the president leaves.
Well, like the transition from
the transition.
Like the move out, the move in kind of thing. Yeah, it's pretty fascinating.
It really is.
Yeah, I've seen it before. I've seen a documentary.
It starts the day after Election Day. They start out, they set out, or they send out this questionnaire to the president, to his family, to everybody who's going to be in there.
They get to pick their furniture and all that
Pick their furniture, what their favorite colors are, what if any kind of extra stuff. Like, for example, Nixon put in a one-lane bowling alley in the basement.
Right.
And so all these things have to be let known beforehand.
I think they filled in a swimming pool.
Yeah,
that was there before or something. So I don't remember, but it was something like that.
It was actually, I can't remember if it was Jimmy Carter or Gerald Ford. One of them wanted to put a pool on the lawn of the White House, but was turned down because it was a security threat.
Man, that makes sense.
Or a security risk.
That makes sense.
But yeah, all this happens. They plan it all out. And then it's like a pit crew, because from the second the president leaves this morning to 5 o'clock today, when what do they call him? The head servant.
Yeah,
I'm not
he's
sure.
like the
executive servant, I think.
He's like the butler or whatever.
The guy who's in charge of all of the service department, the chefs. He's in charge of the concierge services. He says, "Welcome home, Mr. President," at 5 o'clock p.m. They have from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. to go in, gut the place, move furniture in, repaint everything, clear out any any personal gifts that have been given to the president or to the president's family. Like the example I said was, if somebody were to gift Barron Trump a PS5, that at the end of the presidency, that PS5 gets packed up and put into a storage center in like Virginia.
You didn't get to keep it.
Unless the president pays fair market value for that item to take it with him. So like if you get a personal gift from like a dignitary and you choose to take it with you, you have to pay the fair market value for it.
I feel like Barron's already got a PS5.
Oh, I'm sure he's got a couple. I'm sure he's got the he's probably got access to the PS6 at this
He's got
point.
a PS17.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's fascinating to see how all this stuff works in tandem. And
yeah, it is pretty cool to how by the way, they pay for all their food and their own food.
Oh yeah. Yeah, 100%. They
like those meals and stuff, they get a bill that they gotta, all their toiletries, all the stuff they use. The presidential family does get a bill for that every month.
They
get
get
has to pay for
rent free. Essentially, that's what that's what they get to live there for free. But everything else.
Now, the only thing they don't pay for is like state dinners and stuff like that. But the day-to-day meals and all that, that's. But if they're and this is probably why they have a lot of meals with dignitaries. So now they write it off as no, that's a expense meal. I don't have to pay for that one. I was entertaining the ambassador of France. So,
do you think Trump has the McDonald's app? I got to imagine at this point he has so many points.
See, back in the day, I think Obama was the first president that actually carried a phone on him. Like, I think prior to him, they wouldn't let the president carry a phone around.
Yeah, well, the BlackBerry. But you think they're gonna take the Donald's phone away from him?
No, but I don't know if that's. Yeah, I don't know what. Like, if that's like Obama was the first one I remember like having a phone and the ability to, because usually they don't even have like a wallet or cash or nothing. They can't buy nothing because they don't have nothing on them.
Right.
And but I think like Obama was like the first one that kind of started. No, I got my phone.
Yeah, I got to imagine. Yeah, that was the famous BlackBerry.
Yeah.
But
I think if Trump did have the McDonald's app, he probably doesn't have it anymore. I think RFK Jr. Made him delete it off his phone.
Oh, you don't think he's not eating cheeseburgers?
God, I'm gonna need you to take that.
I feel like what's going to happen, it's like, do I have a meeting with RFK today? I don't. Good. Give me the cheeseburger.
Careful now. That's a disability.
I don't care. There was a picture that was floating around that made me laugh so hard. And it was after RFK Jr. came out and said, basically in an interview, that the president's diet is garbage. That he eats it's poison. He said it's poison. Then cut to a couple of days later, there's a picture of Donald Trump, I think Elon Musk, JD Vance, I believe, and RFK Jr. sitting there.
I think
on
Mike
the plane,
Johnson too.
Yeah.
Eating
McDonald's
garbage fast food.
Yes.
And they made sure to get a picture of him with a giant Big Mac in front of him and a Coke and a thing of fries. Yeah, they
But RFK Jr. is making this face like he really doesn't want to eat it.
Yeah.
Like
Sometimes
he's scared
you
of
gotta
it.
pay the piper. One cheeseburger.
He's like,
won't
this
kill
is my price to pay for.
One McDonald's cheeseburger won't kill you. You'll be all right.
The best example I heard was RFK Jr. sounds like somebody threw a raccoon in a garbage disposal and turned it on.
Yeah, his voice very grating. I was, he's kind of an interesting guy on his
that's
philosophies,
an understatement.
but I could not imagine listening on a regular basis that voice for 4 years. That would be rough.
Well, he was actually awake when they did surgery on his vocal cords.
Could you imagine?
Because he had to test the vocal cord to pick which one he liked.
God bless him and all that stuff, but I could not sit for a 90-minute inauguration speech of that or a State of the Union speech of that. It would drive me nuts.
At this point, give me Stephen Hawking voice.
Yeah. That's a speaking spell.
Yes, I'll take that. It was so much easier to listen to.
All I can think of is War Games. Every time he talks, I'm like, War Games. Shall we play a game?
One of my favorite Stephen Hawking facts, and I know he sort of got semi-canceled recently, but one of my favorite facts about him is he provided his own voice anytime he would voice over a character, like on Futurama.
Yeah.
He provided his own voice.
Big Bang Theory, he's on that a lot too.
Well, Big Bang Theory, he's on there physically. But the idea that you would come, that Stephen Hawking would take the time to come to the studio and cut VO lines, because you could just use the speech function on your computer to get the same result.
Yeah. Not all of his appearances were, I think he only had one or two. The rest were like via computer.
Oh, okay.
Which was a static shot of him, his profile, and then him talking. So, because his picture never moved.
He always provided his own VO, and I always thought that was hilarious that they went to the trouble to bring him into the studio.
Right. Well,
make special accommodations.
He wanted to earn that paycheck.
Right.
And I'm thinking it's, at this point, at this point in his life, he's probably looking for an excuse to get out. You know what I mean?
I was going to say paycheck for what? I mean,
he got a paycheck for acting in a cameo role.
Technically voiceover.
Yeah, he got paychecks for those. They don't do that for free.
No, yeah, sure.
Yeah, he gets
the episode
paid.
of Futurama with Al Gore and Stephen Hawking is maybe one of my favorite of all time. It's just the interactions between Al Gore and him wanting to call the hole in the space-time continuum they ripped open a Gore hole, but Hawking already called it a Hawking hole.
Oh man. But it's this. Yes, I would just love to it would be the speaking spell would be way better.
Yeah, I mean you could just get that. I would much rather hear that than RFK.
You know what I heard?
For sure.
He actually voiced the speaking spell in E.T.
Oh, yeah.
That wasn't a speaking spell. That was Stephen Hawking.
That was Stephen Hawking. Yeah. This was some of his earlier work, actually. He was just testing out the equipment.
Go look it up on the internet. It's true.
That's right. It was him.
Oh man. I know you're tired of it, but I'm not. And I haven't had this for 30 years, so tough.
It's a shut up. It's literally wedding singer. Well, I have a microphone and you don't. So you will listen to every damn word I have to say.
There it is. But I have found so much joy in the 5 minutes here or there between the show of just scrolling on X and watching various Detroit fans, Eagle fans, Cowboys fans lose their ever-loving mind at how good the Commanders are beating everybody right now. I just watched a diatribe of a Cowboys fan who just got done watching the Eagles win. And he just sat there and went on this thing, and his wife or girlfriend or whomever in the room there was, "Why are you sad? The Cowboys aren't even playing." He goes, "It's the Commanders and the Eagles. Dan quit," and he just goes off on his, "My team again. We got the quarterback again." He was just bummed that half the division's now playing for a Super Bowl, and he ain't in the half that playing.
Yeah.
Giants and Cowboys fans are extra salty today because
honestly, if the Cowboys would do it right and just take a couple of seasons and strive for the first draft pick.
Yeah.
Just have a couple of really bad seasons.
Tank.
Strive for that first round draft pick. Get a couple of good first round drafts under your belt. I think they could put something together.
Yeah.
It's a problem.
I was going to say, I think that might be fake, that video you said, because I don't think Cowboys fans had any expectations
No, it was
this
not
year.
a fake video. It was some dude on his, why would you fake this? It was some dude literally sitting on his couch watching the Eagles game. And
For clicks?
Well, no, because it wasn't, it looked too natural to be for clicks. This guy was clearly depressed.
Clinically, would someone say.
I didn't watch the whole video, but I'm going to think it ended with something.
I'm just saying, if you had expectations for the Cowboys this year, then that's on you.
Well, he's just salty that, and it's the thing I said. What Cowboys' problem was, besides Jerry Jones, is the fact that you're paying Dak Prescott elite quarterback money. He ain't an elite quarterback. If he was Mahomes, if he was one of the elite quarterbacks, then and this is why you can't pay a non-elite quarterback elite money. Because if you pay an elite quarterback elite money, the elite quarterback covers up deficiencies.
Yeah.
Because you're going to have deficiencies in other part of the team because all that money's invested in your quarterback. That's why the Chiefs can get away with it, because Mahomes covers up for a lot of other deficiencies on that team.
Right.
Dak Prescott ain't doing that for nobody.
No,
It's
not.
even more sad when they started getting better after Dak Prescott got injured. Like, womp, womp.
And now the Cowboys fans mad because Jaden Daniels is going to be the next Patrick Mahomes, and the Washington can essentially do the same thing that the Chiefs can do now, because we got this guy that makes, and everyone's like, they ain't got no stars. Have you noticed? Since Jaden's been on the team, all of our guys are good now. He makes other people better. That's what he does.
When you bring up the overall stock of it, and that's one thing, love him or hate him, that's one thing that Tom Brady was great at.
Yeah.
Being associated with that team is what made that team better.
Yeah.
Or some could say the association of Brady and Gronk and that team, but you elevate the team based on on how you're doing.
Right.
And Daniels is doing exactly that for the Commanders.
Yeah. And here's the part that
it's a momentum.
Even I believe in Jaden Daniels.
Well, and here's the part that yes, that this is the worst roster he's going to have around him. Washington's got like over $100 million cap space next year. They're set. They've got a lot of draft picks. They are set to build more around this. Or if they need to bring in a free agency, they got some big gun. They've got the money and the ability to move around to get that. And here's the other thing that Cowboys fans and everyone else not going to like. Washington's going to start getting a player discount. Hungry, big-name talent players that want to win a Super Bowl or want to hitch their wagon to Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
And so guys that are looking to make their Super Bowl run.
So everybody on the Jets.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They're gonna be able to afford them, because some of these guys will say, you're throwing a lot of money at me, but I can win a Super Bowl over here. I want the Super Bowl. And I'm telling you, if you're a Cowboys fan, your worst nightmare is Jaden Daniels. He's going to be your nightmare for that. Unless this guy breaks a leg and RG3's it. I'm just saying reality here. I'm putting it out in the ether. Unless that happens, this guy. But here's the thing: I don't believe it. The guy's too smart. Like the way he runs,
okay?
the way he.
Yeah, I'm good. I'll never not think about that scene in that movie, The Comebacks, where the player's name is Asil Turi.
Yeah,
and they're just putting all the hopes and all the dreams of the team on this guy, on this star player, and his name's Asil Turi, and the coach just keeps calling him ACL tear.
Mr. Dumas. But I just that's why I'm excited.
Right.
I'm excited that. I didn't think this was going to happen this year. That's why I'm really crazy. I was like, "Oh man, we're going to be," I was expecting to maybe get into the playoffs, one and done type thing. And
I know. I got that was the thing is, last week was, I've been to this dance before.
Yeah.
This week is we're in uncharted waters.
Yeah.
So I'm seeing a whole new level of
honest,
of hope.
I didn't think they were going to beat Detroit. Yeah. I was going into this thinking they're going to make it close. But at the end of the day, it's going to come down to a last second something or another. That's what I thought this game was going to go. To get 5 turnovers by
more than 10 points.
And this is the thing. I mean, as much as the offense did its stuff, my tip of the cap is to our defense because they were going against a juggernaut. The defense, the offense of Detroit is amazing, and they still lit it up yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
They still got 20-some. I don't remember whatever.
34. I believe.
Yeah, whatever. Some point. A lot of points. But the fact that they kept the 5 turnovers, they allowed the offense to do their thing. They kept the defense in check enough.
31, 45
to allow
31.
the offense to Jaden to cook and do his thing.
Mm-hmm. And it looks like y'all's big quarters were in the second. And big quarter in the second.
Well,
and then a nice little blow up in the fourth.
Well, we're a second half team. We generally, that was.
But y'all put 28 points on the board just in the second quarter.
We do things like that. That's what this team does. They get on runs and they get either really hot or it's just that this is why I'm like this team is. It's like when you watch the movies and you see all the intangibles around the thing, and that's what it is. Like this is what this team has this year, and that's what it's all overachievers. It's all like they keep saying anytime, anywhere. That's their mantra, and they're living it. They literally were like, "You put us anywhere, we were going to play, you're going to get the." And I'm telling you, I think Philly did not. They much rather play Detroit at this point than. I don't think they want the smoke that is Washington right now.
Yeah,
they are on a streak, and they are on a hot train right now, and they're familiar with Philly. Philly ain't going to be able to do what Philly does against other teams.
Sure.
Washington, Philly know each other. They've been butt fumbling and doing that tush pushing and stupid handing off to Saquon. You shut down Saquon Barkley, Eagles are Dunsky. That's all you got to do. It ain't going to be Hurts that gets you. We can shred that defense.
Dusky.
If they shut down Saquon Barkley, Eagles are Dunsky. Yeah. That's the if. It's a big if because Saquon Barkley, he's destroyed a lot of teams, and that's what he does. If they can keep him in check for a half at least, that's all we need, and we'll beat them.
Phantom face mask. I just feel like it needed to be said this time.
And as our guest here,
I haven't seen anybody
because you're going to get a lot more commanders.
I was going to say, and as Mike has been reminding us, the commanders they're not even at their full power yet.
Well, that's the part that I'm so excited about.
Achieve their final form.
I know people are fanboy. You don't get this. This is so out uncharted territory. This is, and this is just to peel back the curtain. I'm 51 years old. I became a fan of this team when I was 9.
Mm-hmm.
And that was in 1982, the year that they went to the Super Bowl and beat the Dolphins. That was the famous John Riggins run.
Shout out Riggins.
That season was, I was 9. I was starting to understand football at that point, and it just crescendoed. And so that's where I got into it with this team, is their Super Bowl year. The next year, they go to the Super Bowl and lose it to the Raiders. I'm still salty about that one. Screw you, Marcus Allen. Anyway, still salty about
Oakland
that
or
one.
Vegas?
They were
at that point Oakland.
No,
they were L.A.
They were in Los Angeles.
Yeah, because they went from Oakland to L.A. and back to Oakland, and no one seemed to notice.
Yeah, that particular time they were the Los Angeles Raiders. Yes. And so that next year they lost to the Raiders in '83. And then a couple years later, they go and play the Broncos with Doug Williams in '87. And then go to the Super Bowl. And every year they're playoff bound or really close. They're good. And then in '91, my senior in high school, they go again. Mark Ripp beating the Bills.
Yeah.
This is my first, from 9 to high school to 18. This is my first fandom years of this team.
Right.
This is what I'm dealing with. I'm like, man, life is good. Hogs, Heisman, Riggins, da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
And then Jack Kent Cooke died. And all hell broke loose after that. And here's the thing, and it should have been noted from the start, because Jack Kent Cooke did a thing. He didn't bequeath the team to his son, John Kent Cooke, or John Cook, whatever I don't know his name is, something John and Cook.
Right.
Anyway, he basically put the team up for like an auction, and he made his son bid on the team, and he lost to Dan Snyder, who at the time was buying up malls and Six Flags, and he's a billionaire. He was 34, I think. He was a young billionaire, maybe not a billionaire then. He may have been just a millionaire at the time. Anyway, and he bought the Commanders, the Redskins. And he was a fanboy. He grew up in the D.C. area rooting for the Redskins.
Right.
That was his, that's why he bought the team. And in theory, you're like, that's great. But then he pulled the Jerry Jones, and he wanted to make personnel decisions. He wanted to land his helicopter on the field. He wanted to do all, like, there was even reports of, like, you couldn't address him in the hallway. Like, you had to, stand to the side like you're in the Navy to let him down the hallway and all kind of nonsense.
They call
like
that the Steve Harvey rule now.
Oh, really?
No, it's just what he does. That's what he does, apparently.
But, oh, really?
He's like, don't make eye contact with me. Don't talk to me in the
Well,
hallway.
he's at least tall. It's hard for me to make eye contact. Dan Snyder's kind of short.
Does he make him everyone call him master or the general?
Well, I don't know. But, it was, and then, of course, he's suing season ticket fans. He's literally doing all the crap and destroyed this franchise and turned it, the sexual harassment charges, cheerleaders getting sexually assaulted and raped, all kinds of nonsense going on. And he turned a blind eye to it, which is, the reason why he ended up having to sell the team, because that dirt was about to come out. And that's what they said, take this $6 billion and go off into the sunset and we'll leave you alone. And that's basically what he did. And so I've been dealing with that for 20 years, where this team has sucked, and he'll go bring in Albert Hainsworth, and he'll spend money. He wasn't afraid to spend money. He just spent money on dumbness and didn't let people that were actually, he had his boy, Vinny Serrato. Yeah, boss, that's a good one. Yeah, good one. Basically that nonsense for 20 years.
Yeah, when you surround yourself with yes men, that's just what's going to happen.
And now, in the span of, since he sold the team, this new owner comes in, we get 1 year of Rivera while he assesses. And then I'm thinking, all right, that's when the rebuild begins. And guess what? That's this year. We're a win away from the Super Bowl. This is unheard of. Yeah. So this is why I'm excited.
Uncharted waters.
This is why I'm talking. And I haven't seen this since I was 18. This kind of fervor for this team since I was 18. And I ain't going to lie.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to have a lot of it over my life. And after 30 years of not having it, I want it back. And I'm going to enjoy it.
It's been 85 years.
I'm going to enjoy it, and there's not a person on Twitter or in this world that can poo-poo on it, take it away.
No one here
You're
would.
like Rose from Titanic.
And I love it because all these Eagle fans are going to talk crap. I'm like, talk all the crap you want. My talking will be on Sunday when we boot stomp your butt, as we've been doing every week for all you Smack Talking Lions fans, Smack Talking Bucks fans, Smack Talking Eagle fans. All y'all been talking smack, and all week y'all been eating humble pie on Mondays. I just saw a couple of those humble pies on here. These guys eviscerating the commander. Oh, Detroit's going to score 50. That defense can't stop nobody. Here they are Monday morning. I was wrong. The Commanders are really good, man. Jaden Daniels is the best rookie ever. Yeah, they're all singing that tune now.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Give Jaden Daniels your energy.
Y'all be singing that tune soon. You just ain't hearing it yet. That's what I'm telling you. Get ready.
There you go.
It is Elliot is from Lone Depot is here, so let's do this. Let's play our news or play our weather and a quick commercial break, and then we'll talk with Elliot from Lone Depot. Don't go away.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Pretty chilly for the next couple of days. We're in the mid-upper 30s for the afternoon high today. A few clouds, but we should get some sunshine too with high pressure over the area. A few clouds and maybe a snow flurry or two for the overnight hours. We're in the low to mid-teens, and then sunshine and mid-upper 30s coming up for Tuesday. A lot warmer by Wednesday. We're back in the 50s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Hey Roswell, Happy New Year! Roswell Ford has a New Year's resolution you're gonna love. We resolve to sell more new Fords in 2025, so we're gonna make it super fun, super fast, and super easy, just for you. In fact, we'll give you the price we'd give to a friend or family member right up front. So bring us any trade in any condition. Don't even wash it, because at Roswell Ford, all trades are welcome. Making payments on your current vehicle and want out early? We can help. We'll take your trade, even if you owe thousands more than it's worth. Worried about your credit? Don't sweat it. Roswell Ford has partnered with more aggressive lenders, all with great rates and terms for good credit, no credit, and even bad credit, with rates as low as 0% APR. Plus, we have a great selection of low mileage, one-owner pre-owned vehicles, all in prime condition, starting at just $10,000. Huge savings, exceptional trade-in values, and a better buying experience. Get on board at Roswell Ford, 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell, or online at roswellford.com. 0 APR for 48 months is $20.83 per thousand finance, plus tax, title, and license with approved credit.
So your pecans aren't as big and bountiful as they used to be? Well, what would Jim Gill do?
Hi, this is Ben from Roswell Seed Company. Few people knew as much about pecans as Jim Gill. And if he were here today, he'd tell you it was time to fertilize. He'd tell you just what you need and show you how to use it. Then he'd make some joke about your neighbors making fun of your nuts.
So when there's trouble with your pecans, head for Roswell Seed Company and ask them, what would Jim Gill do?
Roswell Livestock and Farm Supply is your one-stop shop for farm and ranch supplies in southeastern New Mexico, with a friendly, knowledgeable team that can help you find the answer to your problems. With brands you know, including Preferred, Pearson, Purina, High Pro Feeds, Ariat, Wrangler, Cinch, Justin Boots, and more. Roswell Livestock and Farm Supply is a proud supporter of area sports, 4-H, FFA, and the farmers and ranchers of tomorrow. Roswell Livestock and Farm Supply, 1105 East 2nd, celebrating being family-owned and operated for 50 years.
Injury, surgery, or illness can set you back, but you don't have to recover alone. At Artesia General Hospital, our rehabilitation services team provides physical, occupational, and speech therapy to help you regain strength, mobility, and confidence. Take the next step toward recovery. Call 575-736-8174 today to schedule an appointment and get back to living life to the fullest.
Attention Roswell Coyote fans! Do you love your car? Well, Roswell Hyundai wants to help you keep your current car with a lower payment. Introducing Refi with Hyundai. Roswell Hyundai wants to help you refinance your current vehicle with rebates and discounts to lower your payment. If you're ready to upgrade, Roswell Hyundai has a fresh inventory of new and pre-owned vehicles. With special financing available, Hyundai can help regardless of your credit with I-10 accepted. Don't forget, all new Hyundais come with a 5-year bumper-to-bumper warranty and 2 years of free oil changes. So upgrade your ride or refi with Hyundai. Roswell Hyundai, 1909 West 2nd, a proud supporter of Roswell Coyote Sports.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Due to extreme pressure and weather conditions, it literally rains diamonds on Neptune and Uranus. Stop snickering because I said Uranus. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 33 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from Lone Depot, Elliot Rodriguez back with us. Good morning.
Good morning, Roswell.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year's to all.
Yeah. How's life treating you and your family right now?
Good. The wife hasn't kicked me up to the curb yet, so that's a good thing.
That's right.
That's a good beginning for the year.
Still in the bed.
It's still there.
Hashtag good start to 2025.
No, it was a great year. Thank you, all folks out there, customers and partners. We did really great last year, probably one of my best years yet.
Awesome.
So that was awesome. My team is growing, and actually I have a brand new guy just starting today.
Okay.
So it's
day one of his journey, huh?
Yeah, the beginning of this journey.
Good deal.
And it's been pretty interesting, and it's crazy because I'm trying to get here, and I'm trying to get him going, and it's like having problems. You know how the technology is.
It's
the first day.
Awesome when it works, but when it doesn't, you want to throw it out the window. Yeah.
And I have to get back to the office as soon as I finish here to make sure that he gets everything going. But it's been an interesting year. good and bad. I mean, there's a lot of good things happened last year and bad things that happened last year too. So today our president is being, sworn in, in a few minutes.
Absolutely.
So that's going to be interesting to see what happened to our country, from now on.
Well, I imagine just, based on history and everything else here, I imagine real estate's going to probably pick up here in 2025.
It's been so weird, guys.
Yeah.
All right, folks that are listening out there, if you're in the market to buy a home, don't wait. Don't worry about it. Okay? If you're waiting to for the rates to get better, I get it. I understand it. I see the logic of it.
Sometimes you might wait yourself out of the home you're wanting.
And that is what I tell my customers.
Yep.
Look, you get yourself approved. You find the right house that's yours. If you can afford it, the numbers work, get it. If the market gets better, later you refinance and put yourself in even a better position.
Sure.
Because I'm not going to push you to a place that you're going to buy a house and then you're going to lose it in 6 months. That's not what I do.
Sure.
But if you start waiting on the market, you may be waiting 6 months. You may be waiting a year, and then you let pass the house that you like.
Sure. And if you already own a home and you're relying on that one to buy the next one,
that's different. That's a little different. But at the same time, if
you're waiting on interest rates, you put your home on the market, it sells when it sells. Then you've got to find a house, regardless of what interest rates are. So,
and let's be honest,
so you really can't play that game if you already own a house.
And that's one of those things that is happening. And like I said, we have a lot of good things happen last year and a lot of bad things. I mean, we got hit with the flood. Okay, folks, if you listen out there and you're still trying to figure out what to do, I said it before, be careful with the people that come out of town, coming in, telling you, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. They take your money and run away, and then you didn't take care of your place. I'm sorry that happens.
Yeah.
But that's why you have to look inside the city first.
Absolutely. And this is something you probably should and this is probably more conversations you have with your real estate agent than Elliot. But if you are shopping in the Roswell and Chaves County area for homes right now, do your due diligence. Make sure those inspections are in place. Make sure all those things, because of the situation of what we just had. And I'm not saying that people are trying to sell you a lemon. They may not realize it yet. It may be unknown damage.
Make sure that if it happens to be in some of the areas that got damaged, that the inspections get done properly.
And that's the thing, especially when it comes to homes. It's harder to buy a lemon home than it is a lemon car, because financial institutions like Elliott are not going to sell a home or give you the money for a home without appraisals, without inspections, without making sure that if they give you $200,000, you're not going to need another $200,000 to make that home livable.
Yeah, that's not a good deal.
That's bad business for Loan Depot too.
Yes, we don't do that.
So that's why when But if you're, and then I know this is not an Elliott thing, but if you're paying cash for homes right now and doing that kind of move, do your due diligence.
Yeah, be careful.
Your due diligence. You're a little bit better protected if you're financing it.
Please use the title company, for God's sake.
Yes.
Okay. Don't just take the word. I mean, not that the folks are lying out there and just saying it can't happen, folks.
Right.
One of the worst things that you can do is, here comes, I'm gonna just use any name. I'm gonna use my dad's name and my mom's name.
Right.
God keep them there, in their side, because they're no longer with us. It's like you buying a house from Jose, and Lydia was the wife, or the brother, sister, or something like that, and it went past from one hand to another. If you buy that house from Jose, and Jose happens not to done the diligence on the paperwork, the house may still be on Lydia's name. Okay,
Yeah.
That's a very important thing. That's why you guys use the title company, so they do the search and figure out that the person that's selling you the home is the right individual, folks.
Yeah.
Okay, this is very important.
Just because they live there don't mean they own it.
that has happened many times in town. Okay, so make sure you use the title company so they can do their diligence and do their search, and
absolutely,
and make sure that the person you're buying the home is the right individual.
And this is fortunately when when you don't have a pile of cash sitting around and you need a lending institution.
Actually, when they're doing that, they actually got some money though.
Sure, but an advantage here too is by default you're forced to do these kinds of due diligence things because that's the requirements of you getting the loan. And so, in some aspects, especially if you're a first-time home buyer, which I'm pretty sure there's not many of them lying around that can pay cash for a home. This is actually a bit of a protection for you because it kind of allows you to learn to be a first-time home buyer learning curve that you didn't probably know any of that information if you never bought a home. Anytime you're a first-time home buyer, it's a learning experience.
Well, folks,
and you're gonna learn, and you're gonna learn that. Ooh, I made a mistake this first time. Don't do that the second time. Or you know what? Now I see the value in doing it this way. I need to do it that way. That's you kind of learn your lumps in that first one.
Well, that's what we always preach about using a real estate agent, like Mike said a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
And also using the title company, guys. A lot of people are like, what the heck do the title companies do? They do a lot of things, folks. Okay. It may doesn't feel like it, but they are.
Sure.
They're the ones that insure the home and the deed to make sure that the person that is buying it is okay to buy it, and the person that is selling it is the right individual that is selling it as well.
In these world where there's basically property theft online and all this kind of stuff.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Even in some cases, you have to be a mastermind, to do those things, but sometimes even those pass through, okay?
Yeah.
So you have to do your diligence, because if you don't, you may pay the price later. The worst case scenario that can happen is that you live in a house for 10, 15 years, and suddenly out of the woodwork, somebody comes that this house is theirs.
Yeah.
And folks, that's not a fun thing to deal with. Okay.
And unfortunately, you usually learn these facts when someone dies.
Yes.
That's unfortunate time when you find out, oh, by the way, the person that died owned the house. Now it's mine in the will. That's when you find out these kinds of information.
Yeah.
And so, and I'm sure it's been in the middle of a sale when those factoids have come up over the years and things. But again, this is where talking to guys like Elliot from the get-go, when getting your money secured, getting that way, you kind of know exactly what you're playing ball with, and that way you walk into the real estate, and trust me, your real estate agent is going to be very appreciative of that, because now when you give your real estate agent more guidelines, more direction, the better they can do their job for you. So when you tell them, it's like, look, I've only been approved for $150,000. That's my max. That's my ceiling. You can't cross it. And that real estate, great. Okay, now what? And what do we need? 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom? What do we need here? 3 bedroom? What are we talking? And then you can, get the devil in the details there on what you're looking for in a house. But at least this is exactly where I'm at. And because you need to do this first. I get it. We all spend our Saturdays driving around neighborhoods. Ooh, that house is for sale. Or now it's online. That was back in the day. But back before the internet, we used to actually drive around and do those kinds of things.
Correct.
but people do that all the time, and I get it. You get your hopes up, and you're like, oh, we're going to buy a house, and you're like, oh wait, that's a $300,000 house, and I'm only qualified for $200,000. And there's nothing.
Yeah,
more
that might not be a good idea.
Yeah, so that's why talking to Elliot first is the key to starting a successful process for your home buying, especially for first time.
And folks, I get a lot of calls all the time. Hey, what is your rates today? It's like, I'm gonna say it one more time. I don't have any rates. Okay, and any lender company that's telling you that, obviously they're lying.
It's a lot of variables before they can tell you your rate.
The rate that you're gonna get, folks, listen very careful out there. The interest rate you're going to get, yes, the companies do get a little push in a few things. But in reality, it's the program that you're doing, how much money you're putting down, what credit score you have. There's over 26 factors that determine what kind of interest rate you're going to get when you purchase a home.
Sure.
So there's a lot of things in place. Yes, do I get the best interest rate for most of my customers? Yes, all the time. My job is to try to get the best deal for you every single time. That's what I do.
And, depending on your background and everything else, like, you're a veteran, there's certain
there's
programs that offer certain interest rates or windows and things depending on programs.
Yeah, let me tell you something.
There's a lot of those variables.
Every individual may have maybe not the best credit in the world, but he still qualifies for a home and still get an okay credit. And he may qualify for MFA program. An MFA program may be today better than the VA.
Sure.
My job is to tell you that. Now, in the end of the day, you still choose what you want to do.
Sure.
Okay.
So, well, there's advantages because some of these will be like, okay, the interest rate's a little higher, but guess what? No down payment.
Exactly.
And so you're like, what's the better? No down payment. Now, if you're thinking I got $20,000, if I got a lot of money on hand, no, maybe I want to make the down payment to get the interest rate down. But if you don't have a pile of cash sitting in your bank account, which most of us don't, then maybe the no money down's a whole lot more appealing to you.
Yeah, But at the end of the day, don't be afraid of whatever is happening in my. It doesn't matter that Trump is going to office today. A lot of people were like, "Yeah, let's wait for him to get in the office." And the fact of the matter, guys, is that before election day, the race got a little better, and obviously that's a bunch of baloney because after the election day, then it got bad again.
Sure.
Okay, So the market's going to go up and down.
Yeah.
And yes, the market, and I'm talking about those guys out there that are moving the money and everybody's selling stocks and buying stocks.
Right.
You name it. The ones that, like 6 in the morning or something like that?
Oh, yeah.
You know, and
the futures or whatever.
Yeah, the masterminds of the universe or whatever.
I just picture this room of like very old men sitting around this mahogany table. They all look like ghosts, and they're the futures.
I remember that movie with black guy, Eddie Murphy.
Oh, Trading Places?
Yeah, Trading Places.
Yeah.
I see all those people.
Yeah.
And I love in the end when the old man's like, open the market. Open the market. It's not over.
Yeah.
So it's like crazy. The fact of the matter, folks, is no matter what the heck name is happening over there, a lot of things go up and down.
Mm-hmm.
Depends on what the treasury, depending what the Fed said,
Yeah.
and all that kind of stuff. And depending what's happening overseas. I mean, there's so many factors that make stocks go up and down all day long. That is crazy.
Well, and I would think, and if I'm wrong, tell me here. I would think, depending on what your end game at that particular time is where you need to be paying attention to these kinds of things. Now, here's the thing. If you're trying to find a home to live in, then you don't pay attention to those variables. If you're going the investment side, I got my home I'm living in.
That's a different
I'm
animal.
looking to buy real estate. Then when you say, all right, let's look at interest rates. Let's play that game. But if you're trying to find a home that you are putting your butt and your family in, then you need to
look at all the factors.
Yeah, that's not necessarily a variable in that equation.
And just like, I mean, left and right every day, I tell people, look, it's good. We're going to get you the best interest rate either way every day, okay? But don't overpay. Folks, if you're buying a home, I don't care whatever the bank down the street says or my competitor said. If you're planning to buy a home and you're going to be there for a while, it's not about how, getting the best interest rate in the world right now, because if you're going to pay a bunch of extra money and then the market gets better later, okay, and then you want to refinance, now you cannot refinance because you're already there.
Right, exactly. That's the beauty of owning a home is the rates change. If they change drastically, you get to reapply.
Yeah, but if you spend a bunch of money and the market just got too close to where you already are, you just wasted a bunch of money. And then even if that was the case, that it dropped in a way that is going to be beneficial, you could have waited and just refinance. And now, if you want to spend more money, you can spend more money
and
get a better deal.
The whole meantime, even though you're paying a higher interest rate, you're still building equity.
Correct.
And you're still investing back in yourself. It may be a little less, because of a higher interest rate, but you're still investing back into you. And then when that rates change, and trust me, it's a lot easier to get a refi or a loan again when you've already been approved for one.
Gotcha.
It makes it so much easier. Once you're in the game, then it's a lot easier.
Folks, if you guys been listening to us all these years, we always say this every time.
Yeah.
If you're inside in the game, now you can move your pieces. Okay. We talk about this. I always tell my customers and everybody, I don't play checkers. I play chess. So I'm moving, a few moves ahead, and I have a few moves, in the side, just ready for them to move their pieces to see what I need to move.
Sure.
Folks, you cannot just play it like it's the end of the day today. No, it's the beginning of the day today. Sure. Okay. So don't think that way. If you have the itch, I always say it, and you want to buy a house, okay, just go and buy a house. I'm gonna get you the best deal possible either way. So just don't go overspend that way you don't have to spend.
And I think people don't realize is what you're paying for rent now and what your income is. If you're able to afford that,
you should be able to buy a house.
We can get you in the house.
Yeah, that's the
now.
fact.
What might have to happen, and this is where Elliot, I've always said, he loves working with first-time buyers, things like that. That's kind of a sweet spot for him, where he loves to, help people first time go through, and at the end of the day, seeing them, handing them their key to their new home. That's kind of gets off on that a little bit. But what I mean, by this too is this is where if you're one of those things, okay, I've got a 40-hour week job, but I'm making minimum wage. I got my rent here. I'm paying $800 a month in rent or whatever it is right now. Guess what? We can figure out now. You might come into Elliot and say, okay, your credit's not here, but guess what? Let's do this. Let's do this. Come back to me in 4 months or 6 months.
Yeah,
and
I'll
guess
get
what?
you there. I'll get you there.
And now the numbers jive, and we can start taking that $800 you're paying for rent and turning it into a mortgage, and that's investing back into you.
Folks, I just closed a deal on Friday for a lady in Clovis. Okay. She have 4 kids, single mom, okay, been renting. She's been taking care of her mom as well, all right? Nobody can help her. She came to me. I took a look at all the numbers, look at everything. It's like, to be honest, I was like, why in God's name they cannot help you? I'm not understanding it.
All right.
Okay. I uncover every stone and I look at everything, and guess what, folks? She has a home today. I mean, that is amazing. This is what I love.
Yeah.
You know? And she's like, thank you, Ellis. Like, well, guess what? I couldn't do it without her help.
Sure.
She did everything I told her to do. She followed my lead.
Sure.
We don't break the law.
She
here,
did all
folks.
the work.
Yeah.
You just gave her the roadmap to do it.
I gave her the roadmap, and this is what you need to do. My team will do this. My system, my processor is going to take care of that. We'll get this to underwriting.
Yeah.
Boom, we're done. I mean, this is, and we just did State on New Mexico. I literally give her money back. Okay, so this is exactly what I'm talking about.
Sure.
Okay, I'm not saying, folks, let's buy houses, don't put no money down at all. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is, if you don't have it, there's ways to still do it.
Sure.
If you're going to still pay rent, okay.
If you can afford $800 a month rent payment, you can afford $800 mortgage.
Yeah, let's figure out how to help you to get a house.
Yeah,
Simple as
exactly.
that. Don't do this to yourself. And one thing is being part of the market, or should I say the system.
Sure.
Okay. And one thing is being a slave of the system. And guess what? In some ways, we're all slaves anyway.
Exactly. But here's another thing too that you don't realize is we'll say 1,000. Say you're paying 1,000 a month for rent.
Mm-hmm.
1,000 a month in a mortgage will get you more real estate than 1,000 a month in rent.
That is correct, 100%.
You will, because in essence, when you're paying a rent, you're paying someone else's mortgage. You're paying whatever they're paying a month plus whatever he's or she's making off the top. So put it this way: if you're paying 1,000 a month, he's probably paying 800 a month and taking 200 a month off the top of yours.
Most likely,
that's probably what's going on,
if not more.
Yeah, and or whatever that number is. But that's what I'm saying is you actually will get more house for that same rent payment because in essence you're cutting out the middle person.
Yeah, and it's yours.
Yep.
You invest in. We said it here many times. You invested in you and your family.
Absolutely.
And
then by the way, every mortgage payment you're paying, it's going back to principal and it's building to that principal. Next thing you know, you've got 20, 30 grand in equity sitting there.
And folks, it's just like any other loan you can do. Okay,
Yep.
So don't feel bad if a little going to the principal at first.
Yep.
That's just normal. Okay.
Well, and
everybody's like, oh my God, nothing is getting into the something is getting into the principal.
And to be honest, you can. Here's the thing too: as you get more money, you don't have to pay the mortgage minimum. Once you get, okay, the first couple months you're like, all right, I'm making my payment, but maybe finances get a little better. All of a sudden, guess what? My mortgage is $1,000 a month. I'm going to put $1,500 in this month, and there's no penalties. And that's encouraged.
Folks, New Mexico has no prepayment penalties. That means you win the lotto tomorrow, you could pay your house and it doesn't cost you nothing extra.
Exactly.
You're just paying whatever you owed. So don't be afraid. And I would, if you want to pay your house faster, you just tell me.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. A lot of people believe that the banks, the lenders want you to actually come and do a loan and stay forever for the 30 years.
Right.
Folks, in reality, that's not true. Okay. Yes. Do we make profit the longer you own the loan? Of course they do because they make an interest on you. But
I gotta be honest, they probably make more money on you going 5-6 years on that loan and then getting a new loan for
that's what I was about to say, because the fact of the money, the reality is money move any money and money move money. So it goes back and forth. So in reality, when it comes to the point that the loan is in place, in many ways we actually want people to pay us off.
Sure.
Because then we have more money to give a loan for somebody else.
Yeah. It feeds the beast.
It's like one of those vicious cycles that doesn't end. It just continues. Okay. But folks, do not be afraid out there to buy a home. Okay. You could feel, actually, you know what? It's very interesting. You could feel the momentum of the new inauguration today and everything going before we even finish, because things are getting more positive. I mean, things are happening.
Sure.
Okay.
I don't know about y'all, but I've noticed a lot of new construction in
There's
town
a lot of new
lately.
stuff going on.
I mean,
folks.
a lot of rehab and refurb because of flooding and stuff, but a lot of new construction is going on all over town. So.
And folks, again, the ones that are dealing with homes that are still needing to be fixed up, be careful who you're talking to if they're coming from out of town, okay? You need to do your diligence and check who they really truly are.
We were talking with the health council last hour, and we're kind of talking about things, and I said, if you're dealing with contractor work and they are not registered with the city, you should not be doing contractor
No,
work.
you shouldn't even be talking to them at all.
No.
You know?
You need to make because more than likely, if they're not registered, they're fly by night. It's a huge red flag. They're probably going to start the job and not finish it, or do it very shoddy, or not do it at all.
I have a guy last night. I talked to him. See, I was working on Sundays, folks. Okay, I'm always working, I guess. That doesn't mean coming on Sundays, okay? That's not. I'm not advocating that, okay? That's not what it is.
Right.
If you must, I guess I will take the call. But what I'm trying to say is, I was talking to one of my customers, and we were gonna, sell the home, and he was gonna go buy another home, and his home got flooded. Guess what? He got taken, lost over $12,000. Okay, they started the job, left a mess, and they're nowhere to be found.
And unfortunately, that's more common than you think.
And it's happening more than what you folks know. Folks, I'm still here. I said it before. If you're still dealing with the home being remodeled, there's loans, for renovation.
Yeah.
Okay. We have them, and we even have one that is for disasters. That makes it a little easier to get approved.
So if you didn't get enough from FEMA, need more to finish the job,
I'm still here.
There's options.
And you could remodel your house, in ways that you never could imagine. Of course, it's a bigger loan probably, but at least you can still take care of your house.
Sure.
And folks, if you want to take care of your house and you say, you know what, I don't want to live here no more, at least you can fix your house and sell it. Okay, this is another thing that that is happening. Nothing against investors. God bless them. The people that want to leave their homes and they don't want to deal with the fallout that took place.
Mm-hmm.
But folks, you can fix your house and then sell it for more money, okay? And then you're better off afterwards as well.
You're actually sitting pretty.
And then go and buy another house.
Sure.
Okay, so don't be afraid of doing that either.
Yep.
Okay?
Yeah, that's the beauty of owning a house.
Yeah, that's the whole point.
You're thing in the game. You're invested. You've got money.
There's a few people that may be too old or whatever, and they don't want to deal with it. I get that. But
the home is the start of your nest egg, and that goes with you, forever.
Yeah, just imagine a house that
as long as you pay your bills.
Yeah, imagine a house that got destroyed.
Yeah.
And it's worth $150.
Exactly.
And you need like $50K to fix it.
Yep.
And you already own it, clear, okay? Free and clear, folks. You know what that means? You have $100,000 in equity. Yeah, you don't have it now because it's destroyed, okay? Or should I say damaged, all right? Don't just let the city just condemn it. Fix it and sell it. And now you're better off.
But you have that $100,000 there
exactly.
to rebuild.
That's my whole point.
And that's the thing.
Yeah, so don't be afraid of that.
I just saw the time, so I was like, oh,
sure,
we're
no
going to roll. If you want to set up an appointment to talk with Ellie about first-time home buyer or 50-time home buyer, doesn't matter. Elliot got you. Investment for personal, whatever. If you're looking for property and need financial assistance on that, Elliot at Loan Depot can help you out here. Give him a call. You can call him directly on his cell at 719-237-4680. Again, 719-237-4680, or call the office here downtown now. His new office has been fully going and blowing here a couple months now. At 505-445-2070, 505-445-2070, or you can go onto his website. He's got his own website. It's Elliot Rodriguez, all one word, and one L in Elliot and a Z at the end of Rodriguez, .com. Oh, I'm sorry, that was doing your email. Elliot Rodriguez at loandepot.com is the email address. www.loandepot.com/Elliot Rodriguez, all one word, is the website to go there too.
Mm-hmm.
So, but if you need to get a hold of him that way, Elliot Rodriguez at loandepot.com, one L, one Z at the end.
We'll help you out, folks. Excellent. And like I said, now I got 3 guys. Actually, I got my number 4 coming. Okay?
Nice.
So it's in the works.
So you got a team.
So we're gonna have 5 people, including me.
That's right.
In my office. So
pretty soon they get helmets and race things and pit crew out.
Exactly. Start picking up people. No, I mean we'll be able to help you guys out. So Don't be afraid of what's happening in the market. Just go and get yours.
We'll get you taken care of.
Don't be left behind because you decided to do so. Okay. Yeah.
Well, thank you as always, and we'll see you next time here.
Thank you for having me. Happy New Year's to everybody.
Quick break before they kick me off the radio. Don't go away.
The new year, new ride sales event is on now at Roswell Nissan with 0 down, 0% APR available, and up to $4,000 more for your trade. Hundreds of vehicles in stock, and I-10s are welcome. Is your current payment too high? Roswell Nissan can help. Payoff too high? Roswell Nissan can help. Interest rate too high? Roswell Nissan has got you covered. Trade in your keys and trade up to a fresh ride in 2025 during the New Year New Ride Sales event on now at Roswell Nissan, 2111 West 2nd.
Are you looking for something fresh, or are you trying to find that confident smile you once had? Hi, this is Dr. Sarah Usher with Carabelli Dental, and I would like to invite you to our office to experience a new kind of dentistry. We have the most advanced technology and a highly trained team to provide you the best experience possible. Whether you're looking for a brand new smile or just want to make sure everything checks out for the best, call us today and set up your appointment for your next great experience.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental at the corner of 9th and Main in Roswell, or call 575-622-4455.
A limousine ride with President Biden from the White House. This hour's swearing in and inaugural speech are being held in the rotunda under the Capitol Dome. The proceedings were moved inside because of cold weather. Among those attending are former Presidents Clinton, Bush, and Obama, Supreme Court justices, members of Congress, and guests of the incoming president. After the ceremony, Donald Trump has promised to sign dozens of executive orders to fulfill a range of campaign promises. I'm Greg Clugston in Washington. With more news, here's John Scott.
And in one of his last official acts before leaving office on Inauguration Day, President Biden pardoning Dr. Anthony Fauci, retired General Mark Milley, family members, and members of the House committee that investigated the January 6 attack on the Capitol.
The issuance of these pardons, Biden writes, should not be mistaken as an acknowledgement that any individual engaged in any wrongdoing. Biden's move comes after President-elect Trump warned of an enemies list of those who'd crossed him and pledged to punish those involved in efforts to investigate him. It's novel to see clemency granted for someone who has not been investigated yet. The outgoing chief executive says these are exceptional circumstances.
Correspondent Jennifer King says that incoming President Trump has also promised pardons as he enters office. Also at townhall.com, winter has much of America in its icy grip.
Then there's the snow.
2 to 3 plus inches stretching all the way from portions of eastern Kentucky.
Moving the inauguration inside.